in the last stream, we began working on the hostile neural networks mod. We crafted up both the simulation chamber and the loot fabricator. And in the last stream, we went through to the nether with our deep learner to get the blaze data model and kill enough blazes to get a basic tier blaze data model, which then allows us to use our simulation chamber here to produce blaze predictions. The idea here is twofold. We can use these blaze predictions in the crafting of blaze rods, which is going to come in useful later on in the pack because we can use those blaze rods to get blaze powder and therefore make Eyes of Ender, which are going to be needed before we finish up here. And more importantly for us, we can also use these blaze predictions to make the weather changer because we are now very close to the end of this mod pack. The final quest line here, the blazing quest line, ends with the weather catalyst item. And in order to use the weather catalyst, we need the weather changer. The weather changer here requires 4 blaze predictions, which we do now have. We've got 5 of them over in our simulation chamber over here. We'll drop those into the system. So that's that bit taken care of. The slightly harder thing is that we now have to make everything else required. We need 1 block of firite ingots. We need 1 creative element container for each of the 4 elements from elemental craft. And then in order to make the weather catalyst, this requires 4 time in a bottle. 4 time in a bottle is actually not bad. In fact, I think it might be the easiest part in this entire setup, to the point where we can almost make it. Right now, the only thing kind of limiting us, I think, is gold. We don't have that many diamonds, but we do have some more frozen diamond ore, which we can, of course, process into regular diamond ore and then pulverize to get some more diamonds, enough to make 4 time in a bottle. However, gold has been quite tricky for us over the past few episodes, but somebody in the YouTube comments did point out that now that we have access to this generalized nether prediction, which is what you get as a byproduct of producing the pristine blaze matter, we can actually just transform our iron ingots into 6 gold ingots if we craft it with the nether prediction and glowstone dust. Glowstone dust wise, we do have a little bit lying around, and of course we do have access to the nether, and so if we wanted to, we could go and get some more of that fairly easily. And so I think we might have everything we need to make the 4 time in a bottles. Again, the time in a bottle is not really the thing that is going to be a problem for us, though. The thing that's going to be a problem for us is the Gaia ingots. These right here, these Gaia steel ingots. The ice shard as well, super easy. But the Gaia steel ingots are going to be tricky because we have to get a Gaia agglomeration plate. We need a full mana pool worth of mana, and then 4 times over, we need to do a Gaia Spirit Ingot, a Dragon Stone, and a Pixie Dust. So we need 4 of each of these, and we need 4 full mana pools worth of mana. The Dragon Stone and the Pixie Dust are easy enough. We'll come to those later. But the Gaia Spirit Ingot requires a Terra Steel and then 4 Gaia Spirit. And if we're going to make 4 of these, that means we need 16 Gaia Spirits. And so before we can complete the pack, we are going to have to fight the Gaia at least 2 times, but I think most likely 3 times. And so what I have gone ahead and done between episodes is I have built this big room right here. I've dug out a giant room. The reason for this is, again, twofold. The first reason is that you need a lot of space to fight the Gaia. The way it works is you put down like a little altar in the center of the room, and then you right-click onto that altar with a Terra Steel Ingot, and then the Gaia is spawned and you can fight the Gaia, which is a kind of an endgame boss from Britannia. To do it, you need a ton of space, and we are going to have to clear out some of these torches and stuff to make it work, but we need a lot of space for it. Also, you'll notice over here I've left a gaping hole in the roof. The reason for that is that if we're going to do any of this, we need a lot of mana. As we just saw, we're going to need 4 mana pools worth of mana just to make the 4 Gaia Spirit Ingots. On top of that, each time we fight the Gaia, we need a Terra Steel. On top of that, each Gaia Spirit Ingot requires a Terra Steel. Each Terra Steel Ingot requires, I think, half a mana pool worth of mana. And so we're going to need a lot of mana to make all the Terra Steel, to fight all the Gaias, and to make all the Gaia Steel Ingots. And my plan, essentially, is to further utilize the glacier flora that we have up here. So right now we've got a decent number of them up on the surface. Sorry, Glaciflora, I keep saying that incorrectly. We have all of these Glaciflora. They're super easy to make, and they make a lot of mana. They're very efficient for how easy they are to make. And so my plan, essentially, is just to fill this right-hand side of this giant room over here with Glaciflora. We're going to put a ton of Glaciflora down along this side of the room, and a bunch more mana pools, a bunch more living wood to really start cranking out the mana production, because along the same lines, another item that we're going to need if we want to craft up the weather catalyst is, of course, that Firelight block. We've not quite got there yet, but at the end of the Now You're Thinking with Elements questline, there is a quest to craft a Firelight ingot. We need to do this craft, which is done with the element binder above our element container, 9 times. And to do that 9 times, we need 9 netherite ingots. If we're going to get 9 netherite ingots, we need some more netherite scrap, which requires more ancient debris, which requires more frozen ancient debris, and currently we're getting that frozen ancient debris from the nether. We do have 2 right here, which is not many, but we're going to need quite a bit of it, because not only do we need 9 netherite in order to craft the Firelight block, but if we're going to fight the Gaia, I think it's also going to be sensible for us to get a full set of netherite armor. And so whilst we do have this over here, we've got our little mana generation system over here that takes lava power that we're making with the netherite and then uses that power in the energized area to make mana. It's not a very efficient mana production system. And so what I think is going to be a lot faster is if we instead go back through to the overworld, place down a ton of Glaciflora, make more mana tablets, and then just bring the mana over and use the mana tablets as a way of filling this mana pool up to activate the floating Orchid Ignim and to continue to transform more of this frozen netherrack into different ores. And again, specifically, we're trying to get a decent amount of frozen ancient debris so we can make enough netherite to make all of the Firelight ingots that we need, and also to make the netherite armor that we're going to need to fight the Gaia. So that's the plan. Back over here, I think step 1 is going to be to just make a bunch of those Glaciflora. So to make those, we just need light blue and white petals, both of which we should have in here, light blue and white. I'll go ahead and bookmark the Glaciflora in JI here. Super simple stuff. We've made this a billion times before. We're going to make a ton of these. To make them, we need more of these petals, of course, if we're going to make a whole room's worth. In fact, over here, I don't know quite how long this room is. It's pretty wide, but it is 5 by 25. So we're going to try and make 125 Glaciflora, which means we need to do this recipe 125 times. And so to make that happen, we're going to need a lot of bone meal so that we can duplicate our mystical petals easily. And to get that bone meal, we're going to need to cook some calcite. And the calcite, of course, we can get using either snowballs and stone or more easily with the resource generator tier 2. And so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly whip up a new storage drawer. We'll place that down somewhere around here because it's a very temporary system. And I'm going to temporarily just steal one of these resource generators like this to allow us to start making the calcite. So for that, we need to place the calcite, I believe, directly above the resource generator. We do indeed. Let's take you. And we do already have some calcite, which is going to give us a head start. But if we do that, that is going to begin producing calcite for us. We can put speed blocks on top of the resource generator to make it even faster. I'm wondering if that's worthwhile. It probably is. Right now, it's producing 1 calcite every 220 ticks, which is once every 11 seconds. But putting just a block of something on there would bring that down quite substantially, depending on what block we put on. Even a block of iron almost cuts the time in half. Block of diamond takes down to 80 ticks, which is pretty quick. And we probably are almost there. How many diamonds do we have? We've got 4, but we did just smelt up some more diamond ore here. Each one of these is pulverized into 2. So we have what it takes to make a block of diamond. So I think I might actually do that because we can always take the block of diamond back and use it to make the time in a bottle towards the end of the series. And I completely forgot there's a chance, a 50% chance, you actually get an additional diamond. It looks like we did get 3 diamonds a few times there. So right now, yeah, we got 16, which is way above the 9 required to make a block. I don't know why I took that out because we do have a compacting door, which means we can just pull the block directly out. And now if we go ahead and do this and we right click again, it should now be faster. I don't know why it says no speed block detected. Not quite sure what the message there is for because it has lowered the tick rate. And so now we're producing 1 calcite every 80 ticks, which is once every 4 seconds, as opposed to once every 11 seconds, which is where it started. And so basically now what we're going to do, we're going to take calcite. We're going to go ahead and cook that calcite. I believe we have to do this on the campfire. I don't think there's any other way that we can do this. We could go the way of trying to get like a cod prediction. Interesting. I thought it was going to be a skeleton prediction. I guess the skeleton prediction could give us bones if we wanted to. This is actually very interesting. I don't think we have a generalized overworld prediction, but the fact that you can turn a generalized overworld prediction on 1 bone meal into 22 bones, and then you can pulverize each bone into 4 bone meal. This is a very interesting setup. We don't have a generalized overworld prediction, and the thing is, I don't think we need one. The questline here says to get one, and you can get one by getting a different data model for any kind of passive mob in the game. But at the same time, to actually progress down here, we don't need a generalized overworld prediction. How hard is it for us to get another model framework here? The answer is not particularly difficult. We're doing another redstone repeater, which should be pretty doable with some more redstone torches. The only downside to this, really, is that we need to kill 6 of the same mob. Up on the surface, we don't have many passive mobs, but there are 3 pigs in here. And so, while we don't necessarily need a pig data model, I might go ahead and make a pig data model just as a quicker way of getting the bone meal, because the alternative is to continue doing what we've been doing up until now, which is to get the sticks that allow us to light this campfire on fire. Light the campfire, and then just continually place the, not like that, we're going to wait for the toast coffee here, continually place the calcite onto the campfire, wait for it to turn into bone meal, and then kind of rinse and repeat as many times as we need to get all of the bone meal. You know, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, the toast is quite helpful, but we already have a ton of other stuff, and it does work, and it's not massively slow. And in fact, you do get more than 1 bone meal. You get 3 bone meal at a time. So you know what? I'm going to stick with this. We could go with the pig data model, but it would mean making the data model, killing the 3 pigs we have, hoping 3 more pigs would spawn, and then continuing on with that. And so instead, what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to stick to the original plan. I'm going to grab my bone meal this way, because we don't need thousands of bone meal. We only need hundreds of bone meal. And I am going to then take that bone meal, of course, take our shears. We will need many more shears, I'm sure, but we can do what we've done many times before. We can plant the blue petals, we can plant the white petals, we can bone meal them, we can shear them, we can craft them down, and then we can rinse and repeat. So plant them, bone meal them, and break them. Nice. And so, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then once we have enough, you know, we can obviously go over to our petal apothecary. For the petal apothecary, we are going to have to grab a bucket, and then we can get our water, which we, of course, have here. Pop you in, and then the recipe is 4 blue and 3 white. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Of course, the final thing we need after that is a seed. We do have 42 seeds here, which is actually not enough seeds. It is, you know, like 100 shy. And so we are going to have to... Oh, no, never mind. We got a ton of pumpkin seeds. I was going to say, where are those coming from? But I do believe we had a pumpkin botany pot for quite some time. And so we're going to use those pumpkin seeds, I guess, as our method of production. So we can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And pumpkin seed. And so, yeah, we've done that twice. I'm going to go ahead and do that 123 more times. And as we go, we are going to have to break the snow over here. The snow does like to kind of reform every so often, but as soon as you have a glacier flora down, it does stop coming down. So we can do like this, and we can clear these out, of course. And I don't know if you can actually place these on the snowy dirt. I would assume you could. You can't. Interesting. So I might have to kind of break... Whoops. Oh, yeah, I did build over a cave here to make this a reality. This wasn't quite as flat initially. But we can do this and this. And, yeah, we're going to do that 123 more times. All right, and surprisingly, not that long later, we now have 125 glacier flora down. I've then made 5 more mana spreaders to move that mana, and 5 mana pools to store the mana coming from all of these glacier flora. And we're essentially going to just leave these doing their thing, producing mana in the background while we go and work on some other stuff here. It didn't take too much bone meal, to be honest. Each bone meal does get you 4 petals, because you get 4 petals from every 1 flower that you bone meal. And so we needed 8 stacks of light blue petals and 6 stacks of white petals. And so, yeah, it really didn't take that much bone meal. It took maybe like 4 or 5 stacks in total. And given that you get 3 at a time, that was like 1.5 stacks, maybe 2 stacks of calcite. It wasn't too bad at all. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Anyway, now that that is taken care of, the next thing that we need to work on is we need to work towards being able to fight the Gaia. So part of that, of course, is getting the netherite armor, which we're going to be working on with that mana. But we also need a beacon if we're going to fight the Gaia as well. I believe if we check inside of the Lexicon Britannia here, this actually might not tell us about it just yet. If I go here and I type in Gaia, yeah, it's locked. The reason it's locked is that we need to make a portal first. Because if we're going to spawn the Gaia, we need to make a Terra Steel. And right now, we don't have the capacity to make Terra Steel, I don't think. For that, we're going to have to make a terrestrial agglomeration plate, which isn't too difficult, I don't think. On top of that, we're also going to need to open up an elven portal, because in order to make, for example, the Gaia Steel Ingot, we need Dragonstone and Pixie Dust. The Dragonstone and Pixie Dust requires this elven trade portal to be open. For that, we need an elven gateway core, which also requires Terra Steel. We also need some glimmering living wood, which is this stuff right here. Not too difficult. It's living wood and glowstone. So long as we have at least 3 glowstone left, which we do, we should be able to make that happen. And it also requires mana as well. So let's take a look and see about this terrestrial agglomeration plate. So rune-wise, we have a rune of air, we have a rune of fire, and we have a rune of earth. The only ones we're missing here are the rune of water and the rune of mana. The rune of mana, surprisingly straightforward. It's 5 mana steel ingots, which are made with iron, in the mana pool, along with 1 mana pearl, which is 1 ender pearl, which we do now have thanks to our Enderman data model. So let's do one of these to get our pearl. And then over here, let's also quickly make sure we have enough mana steel as well. We have 1 in our system. And of course, we can grab 4 more iron. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop all 4 of those into our mana pool here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And then if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, that is ready to go. We are going to have to redirect one of our... Oh, I see. I guess I moved this temporarily before. Let me quickly do this somewhat. You know what? Let me undo this. I'm hopeful that if I break this, I get my stuff. I do. I'm going to move this to here, and then I'm going to just point. If I point this here, does that work? I actually don't know if that works because the mana pool is next to it. I don't know if it can pull that way. I think it might be able to. Let's give that a try, though. If I go and put on all 5 of these, 2, 3, 4, 5. That totally does work. It does pull the mana from the mana pool, which is fantastic. Of course, to make this final, we do need to get at least 1 living rock, which we do have. I did harvest a bunch of living rock and living wood between streams, which is why we have even more pure daisies out over here. I just placed a bunch of them down and just harvested a bunch of that stuff between streams here. Either way, over here, boom and boom. That gets us our rune of mana. And so now we just need to get a rune of water, and we're basically good to go. We also need a block of mana steel. The block of mana steel is not going to be a problem. We can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That's all the mana steel that we need for that block of mana steel. Easy enough. And the rune of water here requires a sugarcane, a bone meal, a fishing rod, which we'll go ahead and get. Sugarcane we do not have. Bone meal we do have. What else did we need here? We also needed another mana steel and a mana powder. Mana powder is just redstone in the mana pool, and of course mana steel we've made a million times now, so we can do one of these, and we'll start putting these on. You, and you. The last thing was just that sugarcane. How are we gonna get sugarcane is a good question. We can turn a hay bale into sugarcane, and we do have enough wheat, I believe, to make a hay bale. We do. Nice. Let's take that. Let's do this. Let's do this. I was going to try and grow some more sugarcane, but we could always make another one. We've got enough here if we do end up needing more sugarcane in the future. And with that, 1 more living rock should be everything that we need. Boom and boom for the rune of water. And with that, we should have everything for the terrestrial agglomeration plate. The actual construction of this does also require a few lapis blocks. I believe 4 lapis blocks and 5 living rock is what we need to make this work. We are also going to need to get 2 sparks as well. These sparks here are the way that we're going to move mana from the mana pool into the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Thankfully, they're pretty straightforward. It's 2 petals, 2 blaze powder, and a gold nugget. Right now, we have no blaze powder, but we do have 10 blaze predictions. And of course, we can use those to craft up blaze rods, then use those blaze rods to craft blaze powder. I do believe it's more efficient if we put these through the pulverizer. It is. It's not massively more efficient. We get 3 instead of 2. And there is no 50% extra chance this time around, which is unfortunate, but I do think it is still worth putting them in the pulverizer over the regular craft. And of course, we do have our time in a bottle here, which we can use to make that just a little bit faster. And so back over here, we should have what it takes to make 2 sparks. I do want to make sure we use, ideally, a color of petal that we have a decent number of. So blue would be preferred here. Do we have... Oh, that blaze powder might not be going anywhere because we don't have a drawer for blaze powder. It might end up just sitting in here. It is indeed. That is fine. We'll drop it in the system, and then we'll craft 2 sparks. So 1 spark is going to go on top of the mana pool, like that. Thankfully, it doesn't interrupt the flow of mana, which is nice. And then we'll build our terrestrial agglomeration plate, I think, over here. So the way it works is we need to dig out a 3x3 area on the ground, and I will move this torch over by 1 to keep the room somewhat nicely lit. The terrestrial agglomeration plate is going to go in the center on top of living rock. So the living rock goes down like this, and then the lapis goes down like this. The terrestrial agglomeration plate goes in the center, and then the spark goes on top of that. Now, these, I believe, should be linked, if I'm not mistaken, like this. And so now, if we want to make our first Terra Steel, we need to have at least half a mana pool worth of mana, which we do have. And then from there, we need 1 mana pearl, we need 1 mana diamond, and we need 1 mana steel. And so essentially, all we want to do is put down 1 iron, 1 diamond, 1 ender pearl, and then we want to drop each one of those onto this terrestrial agglomeration plate. You go 1, 2, 3, and that's going to start pulling mana quite quickly from the mana pool up here. Again, it uses half a mana pool's worth of mana, so it's pulling that mana over to here via those sparks. So sparks allow the mana to move very quickly, and you'll see these balls in the air. Once those balls are finished, they kind of move in and move out a few times. They've got, like, I think 1 more in and out. So once they hit the center here, that should transform into Terra Steel. Nice. And so back over here, you'll see it did use a decent chunk of mana there, which is not ideal, and it's kind of one of the reasons why we need so much mana going forward over here, where, you know, we're slowly but surely working up on it over there, but we are almost certainly going to need quite a bit more. But this is Terra Steel, and we need a few of these ingots going forward. The first one that we have here is one that we are going to use to set up the Elven Gateway Core. So the Elven Gateway Core itself, super easy. It's living wood with Terra Steel nuggets. Done. We then need some glimmering living wood, which we make with just the living wood and the glowstone dust. We need 3 of these, and this does need to be living wood, not living wood logs. So we need to do this craft here, and then we can turn those into glimmering living wood by just crafting them with the glowstone, as we saw a second ago. So we'll take 3 of those, 1, 2, 3. And then on top of that, we also need 2 mana pylons. These ones right here. And we need to upgrade those, I believe, to these Natura pylons if we're going to make this work. So 2 mana pylons are easy enough. We do need 4 more mana steel and 2 more mana diamonds. Diamond-wise, we've got 6 diamonds. That is completely fine, so I'll take 2 of those. And then iron-wise, we've got almost 1,000 iron, so taking 4 iron there is not going to be a problem. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Good stuff. Back over here, that should be everything for 2 pylons, and then we can upgrade those just so long as we have 2 Eyes of Ender. As I mentioned at the start of the episode, those were going to come in useful. That is where they were required, and then now we can do 2 of these, 1 and 2, because we have those remaining Terra Steel nuggets, and at that point, we're almost good to go. We need 2 mana pools here, and we also need just some more regular old living wood, which we can go and take out of the system. So once we have that living wood, and I keep forgetting that you have to just left click to get a stack, and shift left click only gets you 1, but now we should have everything we need to actually build this elven portal. Now, the question now is, where do we want to put it? Because I'm already a little concerned that we might not have enough room in this room here because we built all of this stuff on the left-hand side, but we also don't really have much room in our other room either for an elven portal. Like in here, we don't have a ton of space. Although, as tight as it might be, I might be able to fit it on this back wall. If I put the Elven Gateway Core here, then now if we check the book, I think we actually might have some information about the gateway. The portal to the Alfheim. This is what we're trying to build. So this right here is what we are after. And as you can see, it is mostly just living wood. So if we do this and like this. We can then put some in the corners. It's not strictly necessary. The corners can be skipped, but if you want to fill the corners in just for a fuller look, it does totally work. You want to make sure the glimmering living wood goes in like this. We then have to place down the 2 mana pools. These don't have specific dedicated areas. They just need to be pretty close to the portal itself. I believe we can then do this and this, placing the pylons above the portals. This normally doesn't look like this. I think this is a shaders thing. I think the shaders are making these look a little weird, but we now need to put mana into these mana pools. And so what we should be able to do, once again, is take our mana tablet. Up here, it's currently set to put mana into the mana tablet. So if we drop that in, it's going to start pulling mana from the mana pool, placing it into the mana tablet. And then once we have some mana in there, we can then move that over to here. You'll see these are both set by default to move mana out of the tablet and into the pool. And so let's take this mana tablet. You don't need a ton of mana in here. It is a fairly small amount required. I think something like that might actually be enough. We're probably going to need a little bit more, so I don't think we quite have enough to get this one up to the same amount here, but we do still have more mana available to us. Oh, maybe not. You know, this might actually be... Let me try this. If I right-click the portal, it's done. Cool. That actually was fine. That did the job. And so you'll see it did use a little bit of mana there. You really don't need much in the pool. And so now that that is done, we have a portal that does allow us to see through into the room behind us, but it is also now capable of crafting certain items. For example, back down here, we need Dragonstone, Pixie Dust. Dragonstone is made by throwing mana diamonds into the portal, and then Pixie Dust is made by throwing mana pearls into the portal. I'll do the mana pearl just because we have more ender pearls than diamonds, and it's easier for us to make more ender pearls than diamonds. So we can do this to get mana pearl, and then we can throw that mana pearl through the portal, and we get Pixie Dust back. Nice. Also, doing this allows us to throw our Lexica Botania through, and in return we get this upgraded Lexica Botania, which should now have information about the Gaia fight. Here we go. So we need to do the Ritual of the Gaia. For this, we need 4 Gaia pylons, which does mean we need to get 8 Pixie Dust and 8 Elementium ingots. Elementium ingots, as you may have been able to guess, are made in a very similar way. These require mana steel. This time, if we're going to get 8 Elementium, I believe we need 16 mana steel. So we want to do this. We want to drop 16 iron like this, and then we want to throw all 16 through here. Now, it does use mana to make this happen. It uses a very small amount of mana from these pools, but it does use some. So if you throw something through and you don't get what you expect back, just check you have mana in here and fill these up, and you'll get the stuff that you're after, which is just useful to know. So we need 8 of these. We also need 7 more ender pearls as well. Thankfully, again, we got a bunch of those. Let's take 7. Let's drop all of those into here. Beautiful. And let's drop all of those into the portal. Nice. Once we have that, we just need to make 4 more regular pylons so that we can make the Gaia pylon. So we need 4 of these, which does mean we need 8 more mana steel. That's completely fine. And we also need 4 more mana diamonds. How are we doing on diamonds? We've got exactly 4 left. That is fine. Of course, we do have the 9 up there that we could take away. I don't really think we're going to need much calcite going forward here, but for now, let's go and craft up 4 regular pylons. And then let's upgrade those to 4 Gaia pylons. Nice. And that's almost everything we need. The only thing left now is a beacon. We also need 8 blocks of iron, but of course we can just take 8 blocks of iron out of our compacting drawer when we need it. We do also need the beacon. And this is where we go on a bit of a tangent here, because now to get the beacon, we need a nether star. And to get the nether star, we've got 2 options. We can either do this crafting recipe, or we can spawn a regular wither. I think this crafting recipe is the better way to go about it, because it's the exact same as spawning a wither, but we just need 1 fewer wither skeleton skull. We only need 2 instead of 3, and it also means we don't have to fight the wither, which is ideal. To do this, though, we do need 2 wither skeleton skulls. We have 2 options here. We could go through to the nether and just start, mindlessly killing wither skeletons, hoping that we eventually get a wither skeleton skull. Alternatively, we could get another data model and begin trying to get enough kills on wither skeletons to get the wither skeleton data model, and then use that to produce these pristine wither skeleton predictions. And then once we have those, we can then use those to make wither skeleton skulls, which I think is the better way for us to go about it. For that to work, we are going to have to get another model framework here, which is completely fine. We did look at making one of these earlier for pigs, but decided against it. Boom. Once we have that, we also need to get the other item, the name of which I have forgotten. It is called the Deep Learner. Let me grab our Deep Learner out of here. And of course, with this, we can right-click the model framework onto a wither skeleton. We can then place that into the data model. And then if we kill 6 wither skeletons, we will then be able to place it into our simulation chamber using some prediction matrices. And with these, we're then going to be able to produce, hopefully, just one is all we need. Just one wither skeleton prediction. And then once we have that, we can make the wither skeleton skulls. So let me clear out my inventory a little bit of all of the stuff that we don't necessarily need here. And it would seem that we're actually full on stuff. I think we filled up these chests here. It looks like we have a lot of cobblestone taking up a lot of space. Let me quickly grab another storage drawer just specifically for cobblestone, because I feel like we should have already got one of these like many episodes ago. If I just whack that down, let's say right about there, and we just kind of move some of that cobblestone into there, we can hopefully then add that to our storage scanner and and just use that as a way of getting our cobblestone in the future. And it's just going to free up a ton of space, because now we can take all the cobblestone that we have in any of these drawers here out, and that's going to free up, by the looks of it, a decent amount of space, because it looks like most of our setup here is cobblestone. Anyway, now that we have a bit more space, let me dump all the stuff we don't need into here, and then we'll head on through to the nether. We'll find the fortress nearby. I did pick this floating hopper hook up temporarily because when I was making all of these, I just dropped a stack of seeds on top like this, and then normally if you have a recipe selected, it doesn't drop them all in there like that, but then we were using a bucket and just right-clicking to get a lot of glacy flora, which is why we picked that up. But now that we are done with the glacy flora, we can replace down this hopper hook. But anyway, I'm going to go through to the nether. I'm going to find a fortress. I'm going to kill, hopefully, at least 6 wither skeletons. And then once we've killed, hopefully, 6 wither skeletons, we can come back and see about crafting that nether star, getting the beacon, and then hopefully focusing on fighting the Gaia. Okay, so here is our first contender. We've right-clicked to set this as a wither skeleton data model. I do believe that ideally we don't want to die here. We died here. That's not ideal. We need to go back, which should be just a case of right-clicking with this warp stone. But then I have a feeling that as I do that, yeah, I'm going to just get killed again. So let me run pretty fast here. I actually don't know if he can kill me just yet because I'm a ghost. It might be the case that I have a few ghost-free minutes to get my stuff back. And I say get my stuff back. Oh, there we go. That's my deep learner. Okay, let me put this into the deep learner. There we go. And we need to kill 6 wither skeletons. Okay, so where the heck did this guy go? He is here. Okay. Thankfully, when we don't need to get too close to them, it shouldn't be too bad. That's hopefully one down. It is indeed one down. I can put this on my offhand so it stays in the top left there. We got 5 more to go. That's 2. 4 more to go. That's number 3. Oh, I see a surprising number of them. We just walked away and walked back, and now there is a horde. And if we stay high enough up here, we should just be able to, I think, kind of somewhat cheesily kill these guys from a distance. And hopefully his friend comes over, because now there's 2 left. That's number 4. I wish I had like a pebble that I could throw. I did break a bunch of glowstone, which is why we have some glowstone here. I'm thinking I can use that for gold later. And I don't want to trigger all of them. I just want like, yeah, you'll do. I just want like 1. But yeah, I picked up some glowstone so we can make some more gold going forward. That's 5. And it also helps if you put it in your offhand. It makes things brighter because it's very dark. So come on, just you last. Yeah, there we go. All right, this is actually not too bad. Our gold boots did break, and so we could have some piglin problems on the way back. But that is a basic data model. It's not the best, but again, we only need 1 pristine matter, and we're going to be good to go. And so now I'm going to head back through to the overworld, and we'll see about making some more of those prediction matrices so that we can hopefully get a wither skeleton skull or 2. All right, so back here, we can take out our wither skeleton data model. We can place it into our simulation chamber in place of our blaze data model. And then back over here, we just need to make some more of these prediction matrices. So gold we have, iron we have, glass we have, but not in pen form, and clay we have. Okay, cool. So I think all we need to do is take some glass, craft up the glass pins, like so. I'm hopeful that 1 set would get us what we need, but I'll make 2 sets just to be safe. 32. Boom, we'll throw that in. There is only a 5% chance, which means ideally, or statistically, like 1 in 20 should give us a wither skeleton prediction. Again, we only need the one. We put 32 in there, so statistically, I think we are quite likely to get one wither skeleton prediction. Obviously, we're not guaranteed, but we're also going to get some more generalized nether predictions there as well. Once we have that, chat, we're kind of good to go on the Gaia. I say good to go. We're not really good to go because, of course, we don't have the gear required to fight the Gaia. Let me see, how are these guys doing? I kind of need my my Wander the Forest. I don't think we chunk loaded. So we've chunk loaded our main base, but annoyingly, I don't think this area here is chunk loaded, which is something I should definitely rectify real quick here. Let me go up to Claim Manager. Let's chunk load. Oh, I've reached my maximum claimed slots. So I can force load 25. I can claim 500. I can claim these. Okay, cool. That's good. That should keep all of this chunk loaded, which should keep the mana coming in, because that's kind of the problem that we're going to run into. So getting netherite armor is going to be a little tricky, but shouldn't be too bad. Also, I was going to say we could maybe accelerate this with the time in the bottle, but I think the problem we might run into there is that we could potentially... Oh, my time in the bottle is going to be in here? Yeah. Let me do this. Power was going to be the potential problem that we could run into if we did it this way. It is likely to fail, but again, it gets more and more accurate as time goes up. So I actually forgot that it got more accurate with every simulation. And so the odds of us getting one within the 21 prediction matrices here get even higher. And look at that, and we have one. Perfect. So in here, boom, and boom. That's going to get us 3 wither skeleton skulls. Perfect. And back over here, we can use those to produce a nether star. Nice. And of course, with that, we do get a quest complete up here. Fantastic. And we now have everything that we need in order to get our first beacon. We're just missing 3 obsidian, which should be fine because, if I'm not mistaken, we do have a blast chiller available to us in the nether. There are a few hoglins here that I am going to have to fend off, unfortunately. They seem somewhat scared that I'm here, but I'm hopeful that we can end these guys. And then over here we have our blast chiller, which is actually full on obsidian. I'll go ahead and take that out and try not to die to this guy. The rhyme there was not intended. Perfect. Okay, so obsidian we have. Let's go back. Let's make that beacon. And we can also look at setting up the Gaia spawn area. We have everything now to spawn the Gaia because we have the pylons, we have the terrasteel. Oh no, we don't have the terrasteel. We do need one more terrasteel to actually activate the ritual. So if I grab my Lexica Botania, we can go ahead and we can visualize the ritual spawn area. We are also going to need those pylons that we made earlier, and we can use some netherrack here to place those down because they do need to go a few blocks into the air. So the area required by this, as I mentioned, is quite large. And I don't think we're going to have enough space for it. Does it mention in here how large the area needs to be? I don't think it does. I think it just mentions that it needs to be a pretty large area. My initial plan was going to be to put it in the center here, but I think now it's going to make more sense to kind of put it as a frosty cow. It's going to make more sense to kind of offset it a little bit to the side. We do also, of course, need to get 8 blocks of iron from our compacting drawer here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Perfect. And that should be everything, I believe, for the Gaia ritual altar. So if we click the little visualize button here, we can go ahead and we can right click this down. Let's say right about here. I'm not confident that's going to be enough space. I might actually unvisualize and visualize again. I might put it maybe here. We can always break some of these and get rid of them when the time comes for the Gaia fight and then potentially replace them down. That's not going to be too difficult for us to do. But for now... oh, I needed 9, not 8. That's my bad. For now, what I'll do is I'll put down 1 here. I'll leave this one empty. I'll do that in a second. We're then going to put the beacon here. And then we need to put down the pylons in the corners too high. So they're going to go a little higher up. By too high, I mean 2 blocks above the ground like this. So we'll put them down. I keep doing this wrong. It's kind of hard to see the visualization effect. But here, 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 and here. Perfect. So then we're going to get rid of the netherrack, of course. And we're going to go grab 1 more pickaxe and also one more block of iron. But at that point, we're good to go. And now we need to start focusing on the netherite armor, which is going to be tricky to do because I just don't think we have enough mana to get it, because the ancient debris is not a particularly common drop from our nether ore. Let's get rid of this. Let's do this. There we go. The setup is complete. Obviously, we can get rid of these. And to activate it now, all we have to do is right-click a terrasteel onto the beacon, and the Gaia will spawn. But we will die almost instantaneously and just waste a terrasteel if we try fighting it now with this iron armor. It's not going to work. It's not good enough. Real quick, I would love to get some more gold boots to allow us to hopefully not get attacked by piglin when we go through to the nether again. And I think what we want to do now, basically, is we want to take our mana tablet and fill it up, of course. Let me quickly check on how this guy is doing. I do my Wand of the Forest for that. I put most of my stuff away before fighting those wither skeletons. Let's do this to fill that up. I do need to stand and pick that up, though, because if I don't pick it up continuously, the Hopperhawk downstairs will continually break it over and over again. Once we've got a decently filled mana tablet, we can then look at getting some of this ancient debris. So right now, we have 2 frozen ancient debris. Each one of these can be smelted into 1 ancient debris in a regular furnace. And then from there, the most efficient thing we can do with that is run it through an induction smelter to get 2 netherite scrap. And then it takes 4 netherite scrap to make 1 netherite ingot. And if we're going to get a full set of netherite armor, we need 4 netherite ingots. So we need 16 netherite scrap, which means we need 8 ancient debris. We already have 8 ancient debris. We already have 2, so we need 6 more if we want to progress forward here. And this was the induction smelter, which we do. Oh, never mind. We got so much netherite scrap. I completely forgot. I thought we had more frozen netherite. I thought it was surprising that we had so little, but never mind. We have got 16 netherite scrap ready to go. And so the thing we're actually missing now is diamonds. We need diamonds to progress further, which is kind of the same deal. Thankfully, though, the diamonds are more regular than the ancient debris is. So this is going to get us the netherite ingots that we need for armor. We are going to need still more netherite scrap, though, because if we want to make the block of firite, we need to get 9 more netherite ingots, because each firite ingot requires a netherite, so we need 9 more netherite ingots. Again, each netherite ingot requiring 4 of the ancient debris here means we need 36 ancient debris, which means we need 18 more frozen ancient debris. So we do still need a fair bit more. It just means we do have what it takes to make the armor now, which is good. But essentially now, we are currently at 9 diamonds, right? And we need 24 if we're going to make diamond armor. So we're going to take our mana tablet full of stuff. Let me quickly check. We don't have any more diamond ore, right? No, I'm pretty sure we utilized all of it at the start of the episode. This is unfortunately apatite, and I'm fairly certain that in here we also don't have any more frozen diamond ore. We don't. We do have 1 frozen ancient debris, which is good. It means we only need 17 more now. But essentially, we're going to go on through here. We're going to drop this mana tablet into the mana pool over here to allow it to start feeding this orchid ignim, like so. That's going to start breaking these ores, and we're mostly going to get gold and nether quartz, which is not ideal, but we're going to slowly but surely, hopefully, acquire diamond ore, which we can then, of course, process into regular diamond ore and then pulverize again into 2 or 3 diamonds, and we're going to keep doing that until we have 24 diamonds to make ourselves the diamond armor, and we're going to keep getting this frozen ancient debris to allow us to, you'll see we didn't get much of either, which is unfortunate, but we need to keep going until we have 18 frozen ancient debris so that we can make enough netherite ingots to make those firite blocks. And so this is where it kind of becomes tricky, and this is why I should probably put this back down. I did also temporarily turn this off earlier. I should go ahead and re-enable that, like so. Also, this isn't working. That's probably because I stopped the whole thing from working when I turned this off. That's my bad. I need to put some more lava in here to kickstart the system again, to kind of give us a bit of mana from those energized arrows that we have. But this is where we really need mana. Not only do we need a lot of mana for the end game, of course, to make all of the Gaia steel, but we also really need a lot of mana here in order to get all of the diamonds and all of the netherite that we're going to need. Back over here, we can take a look at how much mana we have in these mana pools. It's not insignificant, and we can start to pull this out, and we can get probably another mana pool's worth of mana in our mana tablet here, which is going to get us, you know, a few more frozen diamond ore and a few more ancient debris, but it's probably not going to be enough is the problem. And so I think that might be fine though, because we can probably go ahead, take the mana that we do have, of course, use that to get as much ancient debris and as much diamond ore as we have, and then we can potentially pivot over and look at moving further on down the elemental craft quest line here, because we do of course need to get all the way down to this pure crystal in order to actually make the fire ingot. The fire ingot requires a pure crystal, a spring alliance shard, a swift alloy ingot, and netherite. Of course, we don't have the netherite yet, but we do still need to work on getting all of these shards and all of these other machines and items from elemental craft. And whoops, I need to make sure that these are set to all pull mana out of the pool, like this and like that, before we put the mana tablet in. But we can go ahead and pivot over into doing some elemental craft and give these kind of more time to do that thing. We could also look at using some of the 7 hours that we have in our time in a bottle here to make these a little bit faster. That does work, and making them 2, 3, 4 times faster isn't that expensive. You'll see it does start to fill up in the mana spreader a lot faster, but I don't know, it gets a little tedious, and I think we would run out of time fairly quickly if we wanted to move those to like a reasonable speed. Like if we go and crank this up to 128x, that's still... You can also speed the mana spread up as well, by the way. If the mana spread is not going fast enough, you can really give that a run for its money. Apparently, though, that's still not good enough even at 64x. Maybe the sped up mana spreader doesn't work, actually, now that I mention it. We could maybe do the lens or something there if we're going to go that crazy on it. But this is faster, but you'll see we just ripped an hour off our time in a bottle for not really much mana. So anyway, I'm going to quickly go ahead, use this mana tablet to get some more frozen diamond and some more frozen ancient debris. We'll do the same thing with the remaining mana that we have in the remaining pools here, and then we'll come back and we'll look at moving forward with elemental craft. All right, and all of our mana later, we now have 8 more frozen ancient debris, which is not a ton. We do still need like 17, so we're not quite there yet, but we do have 7 more frozen diamond ore, and there's a chance that we get 3 diamonds every time we pulverize one of these instead of 2. And one thing we've not been doing up until this point is taking advantage of catalysts inside of the pulverizer. So over here, you'll see that it says additional chance is 50%, but beneath that it says boostable. When it says boostable, it means that over here you can put one of 2 optional catalysts into the pulverizer, either Basil's powder or flint. We're going to go with flint just because it's so much easier for us to get, and in fact, I think we do already have some in here. We do indeed. The Basil's powder is going to be substantially harder for us to get, and the flint just gives us that little bit extra chance. It's got a 1.1x primary modifier, and so we're just a little bit more likely to get 3 diamonds than we would be without that flint in there. And so let's give that a quick acceleration. We got 3 from the first one, that's good. We got 2 from the second one, that's okay. We did only need to get 3 from one of these in order to hit the number of diamonds required, but you'll see we're getting 3 from quite a lot of these here. The 50-50 is working out in our favor quite regularly, which you'll love to see. Ideally, we would get 24 diamonds without the need to break our block, but I'm fairly certain that's not going to happen. Yeah, it looks like 18 is the final number there, which is not bad for 7 diamond ore. 14 would be expected, and then I guess 50% on that would be like an extra 3.5, so like 17.5, which is about what we got. We rounded up to 18, and so now we can take our block of diamond, drop that back in, and we should have everything that we need to make a full set of diamond armor. We can make a diamond helmet, we can make a diamond chestplate. I've just got to be careful not to click the 1 button twice here, because I don't want to waste any of my diamonds making 2 sets of anything. And once we have a full set of diamond armor, which I'm not quite sure of the temperature of, by the way, just yet, we can then obviously take our netherite, and if we get ourselves a smithing table, we should be able to upgrade all of our diamond armor to netherite armor, and then we're one step closer to being able to fight the Gaia here. Boom, boom, and boom. Perfect. In fact, if we make 1 more netherite, we can go ahead and get a netherite sword as well, which I do think is probably worth the investment. So let's quickly do one of these. Give that a quick tap to get some more ancient debris, and then we can just run that through our induction smelter here. Boom, to get more of the netherite scrap. 2 more to be precise. Boom and boom. And that is going to get us our netherite ingot. Over here, we can do the exact same thing with the diamond sword. Boom and boom. And we get a netherite sword. Nice. Okay, so now I think we're pretty well kitted out in terms of fighting the Gaia here. But I do think we still want to take this further, because the Gaia is a very tricky fight. Specifically, I think what we should probably look to do now is acquire some form of regeneration and potentially some form of strength as well. So there's a couple of different options here. The default option, of course, is some kind of beacon, but to get regeneration with a beacon, you need quite a large beacon, and we don't really have enough iron to make such a large beacon. And so instead, we can turn to Botania, which does have a multitude of ways to get a lot of status effects. Specifically, people have drawn my attention to incense, which is not something I've used before from Botania, but if we hover over the incense here and press Control whilst we hold our Lexica Botania, it should give us information about the incense stick. It says brews can provide a great variety of effects when in liquid form. However, their effects don't last long, and vials take up inventory space. Besides, using incense sticks instead of containers can mitigate these problems. Sticks are infusible with brew effects, just like containers, but take around 10 times as much mana to do so. An incense stick can be placed on an incense plate, and with a simple right click of a flint and steel will light it, and once lit it cannot be retrieved, but a single stick of incense will burn for 60 times as long as a liquid counterpart. So basically what it's saying here is that if we type in brew, there are all of these brews from Botania. They effectively are just the regular kind of Minecraft effect. We have like jump boost, regeneration 2, regeneration 1, resistance, all that kind of stuff, but as well as things like strength and haste. And so I think what we want to get is probably strength, definitely regeneration, potentially speed could be quite useful because there are spots on the floor that you don't really want to be standing in when fighting the guy, and if you can move out of those spots faster, that is going to help us quite a bit. And so we could make vials of all of these. The vials are made using the botanical brewery, which we are going to need to make anyway, but that doesn't seem too difficult. But we could take it one step further and get maybe like 3 incense plates. And if we get an incense stick for speed, for strength, and for regeneration 2, the regeneration 2 incense plate lasts for 25 minutes. The other ones here last for 90 minutes. And so that should be enough for us to do at least 1 Gaia fight. Again, we do need to do 3 Gaia fights. And so ideally, we could put all those 3 of those down. And I think we can probably fight the Gaia 3 times in 25 minutes. We might need to make a second regeneration incense stick, but I think it should be fine. Anyway, to make these, we need gas tiers. That's really the only thing we're missing. So the basic incense stick is a living wood twig with blaze powder and a gas tier. And then you have to infuse it using the botanical brewery to get the different effects, right? And the infusing stage seems pretty straightforward. It is going to be the stage that actually uses mana. And again, mana is kind of our current bottleneck, but more is coming in all of the time. And of course, we do still have more in the center here. But the initial problem that we're going to run into is that we don't have a gas tier. Or at least I'm fairly certain that we don't have a gas tier. We don't. We could go to the nether and try and find a ghast. But alternatively, there is a recipe here that allows us to craft gas tiers with 2 generalized nether predictions, 1 sugar and 1 spider eye. I also don't think we have any spider eyes. We don't. We saw earlier that we can make sugar by crafting wheat into hair and then using the hair over here. That gets us sugarcane. And if we wanted to, we could probably set this up pretty quickly here. We could get another storage drawer, whack that down, grab a botany pot, which we do not have, but you know what? I'm going to temporarily steal this wheat botany pot over here, and we'll throw you down like so. And then if we throw in, let's say, some sand and the sugarcane, that should just start growing sugarcane for us, and eventually we can use that to make sugar, and of course use that to make gas tiers. The only thing we don't have then is the spider eye, but we can make spider eyes with rotten flesh, apples, red mushrooms, and generalized overworld predictions. So mushroom-wise, we only have brown mushrooms, but I'm fairly certain we have access to red mushrooms via the nether. And now, circling back to kind of what we were looking at the beginning of the episode, we need a generalized overworld prediction, this guy right here. And so we are going to have to get another data model to make this work. I'm hopeful that if we head on underground a little bit here, we might be able to find 6 zombies that we could potentially use for that very purpose. We do have 3 pigs here. We also have a lot of cows, but half of them are frozen cows, and if you right-click on these don't actually count as regular cows. Chicken-wise, we've got 2 chickens, which is definitely not enough, and so I've only got 2 polar bears as well, unfortunately. So let's head on down. I think if we go down here, that should be good. And let's see if we can't find a couple of zombies. Again, 6 is really the number that we're after here. Earlier, there were seemingly an endless number of zombies. In fact, we have 3 chickens, I guess, by the looks of it, and also 3 polar bears as well. Although now we're down here, there are basically no zombies, which of course, why would there be? Now that we actually need them, there are none. However, if we head back this way, this is kind of the outside of our base area, and I'm hopeful that we should be able to find 6 zombies for us to get a zombie data model, which we don't really need for the zombie matter. We mostly just need... We could do skeletons as well. Skeletons are basically the same. And we're basically just using it for the matter. We got one of each there. What's more common? I think the zombies might be more common. I'm going to go for a zombie, even though the skeleton might actually be more useful. But let's go see if we can't find it. Chat is right. We could make 2 data models. We could go get a second one. And that way, if we come across skeletons, we could do skeletons instead if we get 6 skeletons first. But I feel like at this point, you know, we've got the zombie one. We've already killed a skeleton and wasted it. Let's just go see if we can't find 5 more zombies, chat. And there we go. There is 6 zombies. We don't have to kill more zombies here. We have the 6 we need, but the more we kill, the higher the chance of getting a pristine zombie matter. But to be fair, we actually don't need that. So, you know, there's actually 0 point in doing this. All right, I'm going to head back up and we'll begin running this through the simulation chamber to get some of the Overworldian matter. We did kind of waste some of the precision matrix on getting more wither skeleton predictions. We don't really need more wither skeleton predictions at this point. I don't think there's much of a use for more nether stars, but thankfully the prediction matrices are pretty easy to make, and so I don't even think we need 32 of these either, to be honest, but let's take our zombie data model out of here. Let's whack him back up in here, and then let's put like 16 of these in here. We don't need that many, to be fair. And while that is processing, we'll head through to the nether and see if we can't find some red mushrooms. Never mind, real quick, I'm going to head back and swap back to my iron armor because the netherite armor here is way too warm. We got that little fire emote at the bottom there, which is not ideal. And now we're actually on fire, which is also not ideal. Okay, so we found one singular red mushroom there, which would get us a couple of gas tiers, but I would prefer a few more. I say a couple because you can craft one of these into 2 spider eyes, and each spider eye gets you 3 gas tiers. So we get 6 gas tiers from this. Oh, and of course, yes, chat is right here. We can use the botany pot to grow more, actually. So, no, yeah, we are good. I'm very surprised there was just the one. Oh, there's some more over there. We could always go and grab 1 or 2 more of those. We don't need a ton of them, to be fair. Like you just saw, the one does get you 6 gas tiers, and so, you know, if we grab 2, that's 12, and then 18, and then there's some more over on this side as well. That's going to get us up to 24, and then 30. We definitely don't need 30 gas tiers, and so that should be enough for us to make all the gas tiers we need and have a couple left over as well, which is pretty good. We're basically just right by the fortress that we were just at as well. We've not really gone too much further afield. If I open the map, you'll see that the fortress is here. We just walked a bit further over, and then our portal is back down there. So I'm going to head back in this direction past the fortress, back home, and let's go see if we can't make some incense. And of course, there's a ghast as well. Though we could fight for a ghast here, but we don't need to because we have our mushrooms. All right, so back at our storage scanner, we should be able to craft our mushroom here. Well, first of all, let's check and see if we have overworld matter. We do, very nice indeed. And of course, that's helped us with this quest line here. Not that we necessarily need to complete that quest line to complete the pack, but we now have what it takes to make some spider eyes. I'll make 4. From there, we can make some gas tiers, of course, just as soon as we take some of the 16 sugarcane that we have, craft that down into sugar, and then craft that up into gas tiers. And now with these gas tiers, we should be able to make some incense. So for that, we do need living wood twigs, but again, we do have a fair amount of living wood available to us still, which is good. And so let's go ahead and craft up at least 3 of these. How expensive, should have probably checked this at first, but how expensive are the incense plates? They're super cheap to make. They require 2 living wood slabs, which are made with regular old living wood, which you get by crafting living wood logs together, like this. Perfect. Let's make some living wood slabs. And then let's make at least 3 incense holders. Perfect. So now we need to get the brewing stand, which is actually called the Botanical Brewery. So for this, we need a regular brewing stand, which is easy enough. We have the blaze rods to make this work. And then from there, we need another block of mana steel, which should be very doable. In fact, you can just take a block of iron, by the way, and drop that in. You don't have to do 9 iron and then craft it into mana steel. We also need 1 rune of mana, which we made previously. This is 5 more mana steel. So this time around, I will go ahead and grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 iron with, of course, 1 more ender pearl, which we'll go ahead and drop in here. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. While that's cooking up, let's grab our living rock, which is here. And nice and quickly, that gets us through enough mana. Nice. And that should be everything for our botanical brewery. I'm going to put that down here because I believe we are also going to need to provide this with mana, which we can do by just swapping around the direction of the mana spreader. And now I think we can actually start to look at making these incense sticks. So we take our stick and then we put it on here like that. And then to make the regeneration stick, we need glowstone dust, gas tier, nether wart. Do we have nether wart? We do. Perfect. Let me take the nether wart. Glowstone we grabbed earlier, and of course gas tiers we just made. Fantastic. So let's do 1 glowstone, 1 gas tier, 1 nether wart. And boom, that's going to start taking some mana. I don't know how much mana that's going to take. It did say it takes 10 times as much as the like the brew takes, but it looks like it's not really taking much, to be fair. Which is good. Then we also need sugar, nether wart, and redstone, as well as glowstone, nether wart, and blaze. Okay, so we need 2 more nether wart. That seems very easy. 1, 2. We need 1 blaze powder, which we have. We need 1 sugar, and was it 1 glowstone? I'll take all those. I'll also put some of this other stuff back in the system for now. This is still going, though. But again, the mana is, maybe it's just coming in about as fast as it's going out, but it seems to be doing all right. Oh, we can see here how long it's taking. It's almost halfway there. It does take quite a bit of mana, but again, the strength and speed sticks especially last for 90 minutes. You get an hour and a half of speed and strength from that, which is very good. And the regeneration too also lasts 25 minutes, which is not bad at all. In the time it took us to do that, we have managed to get over a mana pool's worth of mana here, which is very nice indeed, because we are going to need to prepare at least 3 terrasteel ahead of time. So we want to have 3 terrasteel ready so that we can fight the Gaia 3 times, because we want to be able to fight the Gaia back to back to back, because if we do that, then we can make use of this regeneration to incense without having to remake another one. And there we go. There is our brew of revitalization incense stick. It makes a very cool sound as well when you finally get it, which is very nice indeed. Let me unbookmark that. And so this one needs redstone, sugar, and nether wart. So nether wart, sugar. Did I not grab a sugar? I thought I did. Oh yeah, no, I grabbed a sugar can. I shouldn't craft it. That's my bad. Sugar and redstone. And boom, there is our brew of fleet feet incense stick. That's going to give us speed 2. And finally, we put on our incense stick with blaze, glowstone, and nether wart. And that should be everything for our 3rd incense stick. At which point, we just need to make 3 terrasteel, which is going to require 3 diamonds, which is, look at that, perfect. We actually have the exact amount. 3 ender pearls, which we also have, and of course, 3 iron ingots that we're going to turn into mana steel. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Right now, we don't have that much mana in here. We do have close to half a mana pool's worth, though, actually. So we can probably make 1 terrasteel here with a 1, 2, 3. But then we're probably going to go and have to grab some of the mana from the other mana pools and bring that over with our mana tablets to fill this mana pool up to make the other 2 that we need. Oh, we do need to be very careful. I need to get rid of this hopper hog again, because this hopper hog is picking up the stuff, which is not what we want. That uses some of our mana without actually giving us anything, which is bad. So we need to pick that up and then try that again. And there is our final stick. All right, and there we go. That is our 3rd terrasteel. Nice. Okay, cool. And we've still got a fair bit of mana over here, which is good. So basically now all we do is we right-click the terrasteel onto the beacon here, and it should summon the Gaia. So the book does say that the incense sticks here have a radius of 30 blocks. I assume that means that they do like 30 blocks away from wherever they're placed. If we put them down behind this gate, that's hopefully going to be outside of the Gaia's working area. I'm not going to put them in yet just yet, because as soon as you put them in, they start going. In fact, I can probably put the strength one down. Just not the regeneration one, because it's not going to take us an hour and a half, I don't think. Oh, we have to light it with the flint and steel, of course. Other than that, though, I think we're about as ready as we're going to be. We, of course, want to swap our netherite armor out for the current iron armor that we're wearing. I am still concerned that we're not going to have enough space here in terms of actually spawning the Gaia. I think these mana pools and stuff might get in the way. But there's kind of only one way to find out. And that's for us to go clear out our inventory a little bit. Not that we need a ton of space. And kind of just give it a try, really. Let's do this. Let's put everything else away. Apparently it's a radius of 12 around the beacon is the space that we need to keep clear. Also, it would appear that once again we have run out of space down here. Do we have more rogue cobblestone? The answer is yes. Annoyingly, the rogue cobblestone appears to be in locations we can't reach. Also, at this point in time, I think we can invest in void upgrades. Now that we have so much obsidian, the void upgrade here is fairly straightforward in that it allows us to delete any excess of an item. So now any excess cobblestone that we put in there does just get deleted, but I think that's fine given that we don't need more than 2,000 cobblestone at any one time. I don't think. So should be completely fine. I got a little bit more there. Okay. Let's go see if we can't win this fight. We need the Terra Steel to do the fight. Don't need the One of the Forest, don't need the pumpkins. Don't need a lot of this stuff. The mana tablet, probably not needed, but I might need it if we end up having to move some stuff, so I'll hold on to it for now. And yeah, I think this is kind of about it. Let's go give it a try. So if I right-click on this, I get strength 2. Nice. I'm interested in its effect radius. I'm hoping it should go all the way to this back wall if it's 30 in each direction, which I think it is. It totally is. Perfect. That's very good. Fantastic. All right. Let's light our other incenses here. So we'll do speed 2. Lovely. And then the thing that's going to be annoying is if I light incense now and then we have to... I can make another one of these. They're not that hard to make. Let's light it. And then let's right-click on here. Yeah, the radius is too not big enough. So the radius is fine. We need to move it over by like 1 block, which is a little annoying because I've left my pickaxe elsewhere. I guess I left my pickaxe elsewhere. I might just dig out that wall though, actually, instead of shimming it over by 1, because it looks like that wall on the left is really the only problem. We do have a hammer here. I'll grab that. And then just in case it's not enough, I'll also grab this. I am trying to be a little quick here because I want to make full use of the 25 minutes of time that we have. If I right-click that again, shift right-click that is, it should show me the space that's not quite right. So all of this space where there's red dots, this means it's too, there shouldn't be stuff here. So I'm going to break this, and we'll break this as well. It's not going to look particularly nice, but I think that should be good to go. It's not good to go, and it's because the grounds are disturbed, which I think is because there's stuff in this area, which is horrible. Oh no, there's more stuff over here. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get rid of these blocks in red, and it's down the middle here as well. We might have to remake the regeneration effect, but we have the gas tiers, and so I think it should be a very straightforward recreation. Let me try that again. Oh, okay, it worked. It worked. All right. So we want to avoid the passive mobs. We also want to avoid any areas of like purple on the floor. And the speed is helpful here. So like this, we want to avoid that wherever possible. And then I don't see the Gaia. I think that's because I have shaders on. Let me turn the shaders off. And now I think I should see the Gaia appearing here. Oh, I'm going to die. I'm dead. Oh, that is so bad. Okay, hold on. Hold on. The shader problem was my bad. I think I can descend here without dying. Let's... Oh, I can just right-click here, of course. Right. 2 things. First things first. I'm sorry. An eviction notice has been served. You all need to leave. Because you just made me waste... Well, you didn't make me waste a Terra Steel. I was probably going to die anyway. But I need you all out of here. I need a clean mind, a clean conscience, a clean soul. Okay? Get out of here. Okay. Right. So we did lose a Terra Steel. We died so fast. Which is mostly due to the wither effect. I was really hoping we'd have... Like, I don't think there's a way for us to deny the wither effect, annoyingly. Let me try that one more time. If this doesn't work, we might have to rethink our strategy. So now we can actually see the guy, though, which is good. We want to really keep ourselves out of the purple box. The little purple stuff on the floor, that is. And we want to avoid that as much as possible and just try and hit the Gaia repeatedly with our sword, just taking it nice and easy, letting the regeneration do its work, avoiding the purple as much as we can, making sure we eat when we need to. Avoid the purple. That's good. You know, sometimes we're not going to hit him. That's fine. He teleports away. That's all fine. We're doing pretty good damage here. Oops. Again, stay off the purple. Stay off the purple. The purple is what gives us the wither effect, which is what is going to be bad for us. Take time to eat as and when necessary. And then just make sure that we don't touch the purple. You do have a bit of time as the purple kind of fades in to get away from it. It does seem to get more and more aggressive though as time goes on, which is not ideal. Nope, stay out of the purple. Just avoid it. We're going to hit a point in the combat soon where he kind of flies up into the sky and we begin kind of stage 2 here. But this is stage 2. I think we don't have any purple during this stage. We just have to fight off a horde of other mobs. So wither skeletons are obviously priority number 1 because they do give us the wither effect, which is not ideal. Regular skeletons, priority number 2 because they can hit us from afar. Thankfully, our armor is pretty good, and we do have that regeneration effect, so we should be okay. Netherite pickaxe, sword, doing a pretty good job here. Let's step aside and eat. We gotta be careful, though. We gotta kill these guys, because he's gonna come back, the guy, and he's gonna start putting purple down again. I don't want to have to deal with the purple and the mobs, so let's eat. I see you over there. Okay, he's back. Back. Nope. Okay, just avoid the purple. Avoiding the purple is our primary task right here because the purple is going to kill us. Anything that's not purple is fine. Nope. We're so close. We're actually so close. Don't swap your sword to your offhand, Isaac, you idiot. Get out of the purple. Where's my sword gone? There it is. Whoo! This is fine. This is fine. Nope, stay off the purple. Take a time to eat. Take a time to eat. It's so bright. Why is it so bright? Does it always do this? We're so close. He's dead. Okay. We did it. All right. We got 8 Gaia spirits. We need to do that 2 more times. How much time we got left on these? Does it tell me if I have my Wander the Forest, maybe? No information given. I've got no idea how long is left on that incense stick, but I think we just go back to back. I think we just go in for another one here and hope that we have like at least 12 minutes left on the incense stick. All right, let's try this again. We died again. The wither effect is too strong. You've really got to avoid the wither effect to not get completely destroyed. So we need to go get 2 more Terra Steel. Try that again. I'm also probably going to make another regeneration incense stick and throw it down just to be on the safe side, and then we'll try yet again to fight the Gaia. All right, I've got another Terra Steel, and the Twitch chat seems to think that I'm well within my time still, so I have made some golden apples. We're going to try those as well. I'm just going to try, though, mostly just try to avoid the pink, the purple, again, and do the exact same thing we did first time. All right, fight number 2 is a success. We have 16 Gaia Spirit Ingots. Woo, that's technically enough to make the 4 Gaia Spirit Ingots that we need to then upgrade to Gaia Steel Ingots. But in order to do that upgrading to Gaia Steel Ingots, we do have to have the Gaia Agglomeration Plate. And for the Gaia Agglomeration Plate, we need Gaia Shards. Gaia Shards are made from Gaia Spirit, and they also require a Terra Catalyst, which requires yet another Gaia Spirit. And so we do need to do this fight another time. We need to get a 3rd set, so we need to get 24 in total Gaia Spirit for this to be a success. But that is pretty close. We're getting there. I think we have enough mana. If I go back and check, we are going to have to redo the incense. I think we are going to have to redo that before we continue, because I don't think that quite has enough yet for one more fight on it. But we do have enough mana just inside of that mana pool, by the looks of it, to make 1 more Terra Steel. We might be a little shy if we, well, first of all, we don't have enough Ender Pearls, but we can do this, of course, and get 16 more. That's perfect. I'm wondering if we're going to be a little shy once we make our Mana Steel, our Mana Diamond, and our Mana Pearl. That looks to be bang on half, but if you don't have enough mana in the pool, then you kind of just waste mana. So I'm just going to make sure we get enough by taking some from our other mana pools here and just funneling that back in to make sure that we definitely 100% have enough Terra Steel to make that work. And then we'll go ahead and give our third Gaia fight a try after we make one more regeneration incense stick as well. Let's do a quick one of these. And then while that's filling up, we can do 1, 2, 3. That's going to get us the Terra Steel. Up here, we are at over half a mana pool worth of mana, which is perfect. That's what we want to see. And then if we want to get another regeneration incense stick, which regeneration 2 is what we're after, we need to, of course, make... I don't know if you get the stick back after the end, after it's been used. I assume you don't. Like, that's not how regular incense works. It just burns and it's done. But we'll take a ghast here. We will take a nether wart, and we'll take a glowstone. So, glowstone and nether wart. Perfect. Let's put you in here with you, and let me just check that's right. I don't want to make the wrong one. No, that's correct. Boom. Perfect. Terra Steel's done. Okay. Yes, so this must have been regeneration, because the other two are still here, and should be there for quite some time. So I think 25 minutes has just passed up, and so now we just need to do that again. All right. Incense. Flint and steel. I do have a bunch of golden apples, just in case. If we get hit by the wither effect, I just slam down all the golden apples we possibly can. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, we have got 24 Gaia spirits. I do not believe that we have to do any more Gaia fighting in this pack. Options, video settings, shaders, enabled. Bring them back in. Go back to our nice, warm, cozy vibe. Okay, so now that we have the 24 Gaia spirits, there are a few things we need to do. For one, we need a lot more Terra Steel, annoyingly, because we need to craft 4 Terra Steel to get 4 Gaia Spirit ingots, which of course we then need to turn into 4 Gaia Steel ingots, and as we saw earlier, to make the Gaia Steel, we need the Gaia Agglomeration Plate, which requires the... I don't think any of these require Terra Steel. They don't. It requires the Gaia Shard, which needs this Terra Catalyst, which is 3 more. So we need 7 more Terra Steel, which is 3.5 mana pools worth of mana. So thankfully, obviously, all of our stuff is still kind of whirring away, producing mana. And so I'm hopeful that if we just leave things kind of going as they are, that we will slowly but surely get the 3.5 mana pools worth of mana needed to make that Terra Steel. And then on top of that, we also need even more mana after the fact in order to transform. We need a little bit to make the Gaia Shards, and then we also need a bunch of mana to make these Gaia ingots. It looks like 4 full mana pools worth. So a lot of mana still to go. I'm going to rebuild this wall real quick with our living rock bricks. But once we've rebuilt that wall, and whilst we wait for our mana to kind of refill, the next thing that we probably want to start looking at is elemental craft. We want to start working our way through this quest line here, getting the strongly contained crystal, getting our gem crystallizer, getting a pure infuser, and seeing if we can't get down to this firite ingot, because we need to make 9 of these, don't forget, in order to craft up the firite block, which is needed for the weather changer. And of course, the weather changer also requires these creative element containers, which we're also going to make somewhat soon. And then we can finally look at the catalyst. And of course, don't forget as well that we do need even more mana as well to get the remaining ancient debris that we need, because we're not quite there on ancient debris yet either. All right, so over in the elemental craft quest line, let me claim my rewards here real quick, which are just V-Bucks, which I don't think are particularly useful for us at this point in the pack. But now in the elemental craft quest line, the next quest is to make this strongly contained crystal. Let me unbookmark some of the stuff over here, even though we do still need to make most of it. And I'll bookmark this temporarily. We'll also bookmark the gem crystallizer, and I'm going to bookmark the pure infuser, because both of those are required. Given that both of those require a strongly contained crystal, I feel like I might as well make 2 strongly contained crystals now if I can. And then I don't think we need another strongly contained crystal after that. So we should be fine. So to make a strongly contained crystal, we need 4 swift alloy nuggets and 4 spring-align shards with a contained crystal in the middle. The contained crystal is kind of where I want to start here, because for that we need the inert crystal, which requires inert ore, and the inert ore in this pack we've been getting via the frozen inert crystal ore, which we get from frozen stone around the orchid. So frozen stone we do have here. We got 1. I'm thinking much like we did earlier with the calcite, if we just quickly swap this out, like so, and then, oh, it's too close to our orchid. That is not ideal. Frozen stone. I assume that we can get more frozen stone. We totally can. We can just craft it with regular stone and a piece of sharpened ice, which we can get from the 3 ice shards here. That is fine. Let's do this, and let's do this. Okay, and then let's move this, and I guess we'll break this for now. Sure. So I would love to get another storage drawer, and then I guess we... Depends how far away... The orchid's got a pretty big range. I'm going to put this like over in this room over here. Like this. We'll put you here. We'll put the frozen stone above it like that. That's going to start making frozen stone. Again, if at all possible. How many diamonds do we have left here? We've got 6 diamonds, which is not a ton, and it's not enough to make a block with. But real quick, I might, once again, kind of fill up my mana tablet, head back through to the nether, see if we can't get at least 1 or 2 more diamond ore to hopefully allow us to... oh, excuse me? Did I attack you at some point, or is it because your child is nearby? Either way, that was the wrong move. Good. You know what? The child can live. That's fine. Either way, we can hopefully utilize that to get 1 or 2 more diamond, or get a diamond block, place it on top of that, and that's going to double the rate at which we get that frozen stone, which is hopefully going to allow us to get more of this not frozen niter, which, you know, frozen niter is another item that we get from that frozen stone, but ideally, of course, we're looking for that inert frozen stone, because we do need a fair amount of it to make a lot of these crystals, inert crystals, because they're used not only for the making of strongly contained crystals, but we also need them to craft up these contained crystals, which we can then use to make the water, fire, earth, and air crystals, which we can then use to actually get more of the different shards, like these raw water shards, which give us the elements that we actually need to progress with elemental craft. So let me go see if I can't get some more diamond ore, and then we'll see if we can't get going further with elemental craft. All right, so we did get 4 more frozen diamond ore there, which is pretty good. It gets us enough diamonds to make a diamond block, but it didn't give us any ancient debris, which is really not ideal because we do need quite a lot more ancient debris, like at least 10 more, before we can get all of the netherite required to make all of the fire ingots that we need to do before the end of the pack. Also, someone in the Twitch chat did point out that we could potentially make a lumium block here instead of a diamond block, just to get doubling the speed, because the diamond block is 80 ticks, the lumium block here is 40 ticks, and the lumium block is made with 9 lumium ingots. The lumium is made in the induction smelter with silver, tin, and glowstone. So glowstone we have, silver we have, and tin we have. We're not really using any of these, at least not to their fullest, and so we can almost certainly just drop all of those in here. Boom, boom, boom. Maybe give that a little tap, because it is very, very, very slow to begin with. And we need to do that 3 times, of course, to get enough lumium to make a block. But as soon as we have at least 9, perfect, we can go ahead and put these back into the system. And we can take that lumium, craft it into a lumium block, and go stick it on top of the frozen stone, which I think is a much better idea. Obviously, we could reuse the diamonds, but this way we can kind of just leave that here. And now this is working once every 40 ticks. So once every 2 seconds, we get frozen stone. And of course, we can then take that frozen stone and use it over here. If we were to go ahead and place it into one of these, the block placer seems to not be working. I'm not quite sure why, or maybe it is working. Maybe the block breakers are not working. Of course, I completely forgot. The way this whole system works, the reason this whole system doesn't work is I've not put the iron pickaxes in. The whole point of this system here, the reason it's off is because it's quite loud, but the whole point of the system is that we put iron pickaxes in here, they become repaired, and then they get kind of fed back around, and then once the iron pickaxe is fully repaired, I'm going to try, can I swap this out? I can. That allows me to put a fully repaired iron pickaxe in here, and then we start to hear the do-do-do-do-do of stuff being broken, which is kind of ideal. That's exactly what we're after. Let me put an iron pickaxe in here and an iron pickaxe in there, and a lot of the stuff should get collected by this guy down here, and we've got a lot of nether quartz ore. Frozen gold ore is interesting enough, but not much, actually not any, of the frozen inert crystal ore, which is not ideal. How much mana do we have here? We got a fair bit of mana. I'm probably going to take the pickaxes back out here. The reason I'm going to take the pickaxes back out is it's just that I don't really want the mana being wasted on making more resources. I think resource-wise, we're going to do fine for the remainder of the pack. I don't think we're going to run into a resource issue going forward. I think, if anything, we're going to run into a mana issue. And so we could definitely do with saving that mana for use for making terra steel and stuff, as opposed to using it here. So for now, though, we can put this back in. We can put you in. And that's going to make more frozen nickel, I guess. And then the pickaxe does get taken away like almost instantly, which is not ideal. Let me take the extract card out of the down section for now. That is going to burn through the pickaxe quite a bit, but I think that's fine. Because right now I'm kind of after it being a bit faster. Also, if we do want this to work, we need to take that out. We need to swap out frozen granite here, because right now that's on whitelist, which is not what we want. We want to pick up basically all that. We want the frozen stone back. And then we want to put the frozen stone back in, this time with the whitelist set to frozen stone. That's my bad. Over in here, let's do this. We can swap out the granite for frozen stone. Again, you can only put one in there. That's fine. There we go. And then now if we put the pickaxe back in here and we put the frozen stone in here, that should use the orchid to make us a ton of what we actually want instead of the stuff that we don't want. Hopefully. And we did. We got a couple of frozen inert crystal there. Still not a ton, and there's not really a way to get more out of it. All we can really do is smelt it and then kind of just smelt it again, slash, pulverize it. But pulverizing it seems to not really do a whole heck of a lot. We can put the rest of this back in here for now. But yeah, okay, fine. Let me get whatever we've got, and let's see how see what we can do. So we can smelt this into inert crystals. If we're going to make 2 of these strongly contained crystals, we need to get 8 spring-aligned shards, and we need to get some swift alloy nuggets. So in terms of the swift alloy nuggets, we do have a swift alloy ingot. We can craft that down. That is more than 8 swift alloy nuggets. That's perfect. Then we need 2 contained crystals, which I think we can make. We totally can. Perfect. And so now we just need to get 7 more spring-aligned shards, because we already have 1 from a previous episode. So to get 7 spring-aligned shards, we need 7 nether quartz, which we don't have, although we do have a ton of nether quartz down in here. We've got stacks of this stuff, so I will take that. It does have the fire symbol on it, so I'm going to get rid of it real fast so I don't burn myself. And of course, we can just throw in a bunch more coal into our system. Let me make sure this is set to organize in descending order. There we go. I will put you in there. Fantastic. And that's going to get us a bunch of nether quartz ore that we can then run through our pulverizer. Yeah, to get a bunch of nether quartz. And once that nether quartz is processed, look at that. We got more than 16 nether quartz. Perfect. And by 16, I, of course, mean 7 is what we needed. Let me put some of this back. We'll take 7 nether quartz. Exactly. So 7 nether quartz done. Other than that, we need 7 amethyst shards and 7 water crystals. So for the 7 water crystals, we need 2 more of these contained crystals, which we can do. And then we need to get 8 buckets of water. We have 8 buckets. Let me take all 8 of those. And we don't have a ton of space, but we can probably fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buckets of water. And with 8 buckets of water, we can hopefully produce 8 of these. We totally can. Fantastic. And again, we only need 7, so I'll put 1 away for the time being, like so. And then finally, we need 7 of these amethyst shards. Right now, we have 1 amethyst shard, so we need 6 more in total. And for that, we need 6 raw water shards. We have 4, and we also need some raw water. We do have 7, actually, but the way this works, as we saw before, is we have to take the raw water shard, place it into an element evaporator to get the actual element that is water, and then we take that element water and we use it with another raw water shard to make the amethyst shard. So we probably need more of these. To get more of these, we need more of these water crystals. Again, thankfully though, these are kind of the easiest of the crystals to make, because they just require water, and water is limitless. So let's make another 2 of these if we can. We can't, because we're now out of inert crystals, which is why we were smelting up these frozen crystals before. Let me put the nether quartz away for the time being. And as we saw earlier, there's not really much point in running this through anything other than a furnace. So I guess here we can quickly utilize our time in a bottle to speed this up, and then just put all of those back in to get some more inert crystals, and then that gets us enough to make a second contained crystal, which we can then use again to make 2 more of these. That should be more than enough. Again, we want to keep 7 of them lying around for the craft. The other 8, we can just right-click to get some more water shards. Perfect. So now, downstairs, what we want to do is we want to place the water shards into our evaporator, which is right here. I did swap this, so again, you can right-click to set these to connect. Right-click again to set it to extract, and then right-click again to disable. We want to go over here, we want to set it to extract. So essentially here, we're going to put a water shard in like this. That's going to make water element, and then over here, we want to put another water shard in. Did that take all of them? It did take all of them. Over here, we want to put another water shard in like that, And if there's enough water element down here, it will transform that into an amethyst shard. Nice. And we just keep doing that. We keep putting these on. We keep putting some of the shards in over here. I guess we can put the big chunky shard in there, because I don't think there's much else we can do with it outside of make water. And yeah, that's going to make more water essence. That's going to move over here. And then eventually, once there's enough, that should, in theory, produce another amethyst shard. Nice. So we need to do that until we have 7 amethyst shards. And boom, there's our 7th amethyst shard. Nice. So now that we have those, we actually need to make the spring-aligned shards. And so those are made with our element binder, which is in the center here. And the element binder requires, let me disconnect this, because there's water in here. We want to disconnect this and then like reconnect this. So right click and extract, because now we want the water to go into here. I'm going to disconnect these as well temporarily, because we don't need any of the other flavors going in. We just want water making its way in there. And so now on the element binder, we want to do this in, I believe, the order that it shows. So I believe we do amethyst, then nether quartz, then water crystal. So amethyst, nether quartz, water crystal. It might not matter the order you do it in, but then we just, I guess, dump the rest of our water shards in here for now, and let that start filling up. And boom, it's done. Nice. Okay, cool. Then we do the same again. Amethyst, nether quartz, water crystal. I actually don't know how much we have in here. It doesn't look like a ton. These are going to slowly but surely get burned through to make this happen. We could time in a bottle the evaporator, I think, to get these kind of going faster, because I think this goes pretty quick once it has all of the items required. I think the slow part is just getting the raw water shards to evaporate. So if I do like this, hopefully they start to evaporate just that little bit faster, moving a little bit more water over, potentially, which will hopefully speed up the rate of this, because that first spring-aligned shard came together quite quickly, but these ones now are not coming together anywhere near as fast. There we go. Okay, cool. So we might actually need more water shards. I was kind of under the impression we might have enough, although it could also be the extraction, because this is full and this is not. It makes sense this is not full. This is much bigger than this is. It could also be that I actually don't know if accelerating any of this is helpful, but we are getting the shards, and so we're just going to keep doing this until we have the 7 remaining shards we need, and then we can go back and we can craft our 2 strongly contained crystals. And there we go. There is our 7th spring-aligned shard. All right, let's head on back up, and let's see now if we can't craft up 2 of these strongly contained crystals. We probably can. We just need 2 more of these. And I realized I'm a fool, because I actually had already set up the frozen stone down on this lower level here. There's a miner right there that is producing the frozen stone. So we probably, and by probably I mean almost definitely, did not need to set that up again, and probably didn't need the lumium either, but we've done it anyway. So now over here, let's see about doing the same thing again here. So I'm going to temporarily actually grab my pipe wrench. I'm going to disconnect this pipe here so that we don't keep sending frozen granite to this setup, because I don't really want that going there anymore. I want you going there, and then I'll put the iron pickaxe is going to break here. I think that's fine though. Obviously the main idea of the system was to allow us to repair iron pickaxes, but in the interest of speed, we probably, we got more inert crystals, which is lovely. Oh, and of course we have some in here. But in the interest of speed, I think we can probably just make new ones. We got 600 iron. I think that's fine. It should be enough to get us through to the end of the pack. Let's do 2 of these. Perfect. So we have 2 strongly contained crystals. Good stuff. And so now we can look at making the gem crystallizer and the pure infuser. So both of these have very similar recipes. They both require some white rock, which is easy enough. It's just stone with earth essence. And then they also both require swift alloy ingots. So we need 6 of those in total. 6 swift alloy ingots, which means we need 6 gold, 6 copper, 6 redstone, 6 air crystals, and 6 drenched iron ingots. Okay, so let me put some of this stuff away. And then, let's see. So if we want drenched iron ingots, 6 of these is 6 iron ingots. Yes, that we infuse with water. That is fine. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We also, of course, need 6 gold, which we can get. We need 6 redstone, which we definitely have. We need 6 copper, which we also have. And then what were the other 2 items that we needed? We needed... Oh yeah, of course, the air crystals. We need 6 of those, and then the drenched iron ingots. The air crystals are made with more drenched ingots. It's 4 to 2, so we need 12 drenched ingots to get the 6 air crystals we need. Plus, we need some more drenched ingots on top of that, because we also need to get 6 here. So we need like 18 drenched ingots. That's fine. Get me some more iron here. Let's go for 16, 17, 18. Perfect. Put you away. So we need 18 drenched ingots. That's fine. And then, other than that, it's just glass. How are we doing on glass? We're doing okay on glass, but we could be doing better. So I'm going to take a stack of sand out of here. I'm going to get that smelting in here. So when we come back, hopefully we've got a decent amount of glass. And of course, we can give that a little tap as well. Fuel is doing fine. Okay, so drenched iron is basically the same as we saw earlier. We just place one iron ingot into this guy, like so. Again, we're going to disconnect. But we're going to actually go ahead and set this to extract now. And we're going to set this to insert. We're going to try and pull all of the water out of here because we then need to insert air into here because air is required for these swift alloy ingots. So we need air for all of them. Thankfully, we've got air in all of these jars from a previous episode. So we should be somewhat okay there. And this system is actually set up kind of to create these drenched ingots. So we just put the iron in here. The iron gets fed in. And then over here, we're extracting the drenched iron. So if we go ahead and do this and this as we extract, that's going to go ahead, make the drenched ingot, pull it out, put another iron ingot in, and keep the system going. Of course, we can go ahead and put a large shard into here to keep the water flowing, and we can go ahead and just drop the rest of this in, and again, even give it maybe a quick time in the bottle tap to increase the speed at which that water is made. Maybe even go a fair bit further on that to try and make it a fair bit faster. You're full. I wonder if the pipes are just like limited on how much they can move. Potentially. 7. We made a few there quite quickly. 8. So it is going quite fast. I don't know if we need to speed any of this stuff up. We do have 7.5 hours now still in our time in a bottle, so we're doing all right. But these are coming in pretty quickly. Again, we do need 18 of these, which is not ideal. It feels like the pipe is really the limiting factor because there's never really any in here. But I do think that accelerating the pipe here is doing something. You'll see now it's draining quite fast. We can kind of speed that up, but it seems like the pipe is a lot slower than the shard is. But anyway, now we're just going to keep going until we have 18 drenched iron ingots, and then we can look at disconnecting this, reconnecting this. That should start to fill this up with air, so long as these are set to extract. We'll start on the far side and work our way around. That is hopefully going to start to fill that up with air. It is. Perfect. And then we can then take the drenched iron ingots, and we can start actually making this happen, right? Do we have everything else that we need? I can unbookmark this. I can then bookmark the swift alloy ingots. So, oh no, of course, we need the air crystals. That's kind of the whole point of all of this. All right, we have 19. We already had 2 in there, actually, so that's kind of fine. And so, up here, we can take our drenched ingots, and we can hopefully take the glass out of here. Fantastic. We can make a couple of glass bottles. 1, 2, 3. We'll take a couple of those. And then with those glass bottles, we can hopefully make some of these. We need 2, 4, 6. Perfect. All right, I think that with 6 gold, 6 redstone, 6 copper, 6 drenched iron, and 6 air crystals, we should now have everything we need to make the 6 swift alloy ingots that we need. And so down here, let's do it. I think it needs to be in order, but I'm not quite sure. If the order is correct, then it's gold, drenched, copper, redstone, and then the crystal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's correct. It is. We just need to have enough in here. Now the trouble, it looks like we've got loads of air because each one of these is full. But the reality is that these just hold so much air. And this is where things can get tricky because we can start pulling all of the air out of here and putting it into here. Oh, that one's done. Maybe we do have enough. You know, I'm hopeful we've got enough already. If we do have enough already, that's going to make life a lot easier. If we don't have enough already, we're going to have to make quite a few more of those glass bottles to get a lot more of these air crystals to do the same thing that we just did with the water shards, because we can right-click the air crystals to get water shards. I should have checked the system, actually. We might have had some air crystals lying around, but these are all now empty. Let's keep the line going. We'll extract here, we'll extract here, we'll extract here, and we'll extract here. That might be too much, but hopefully it's just enough. All right, and there's our 6th ingot. We did have to get another set of air crystals, so I had to make 4 more drenched iron ingots and make 2 more air crystals, and use those 2 air crystals to get, I believe, 12 raw air shards that we then had to put into this evaporator in order to get the job done, because we didn't quite have enough stuff. And real quick, I'm going to set these to insert so we can now hopefully empty out this guy of all of his air essence. But we have all of the swift ingots now, so the next thing to do. I'm going to set all these to insert because I don't know how much space we're going to need. But the next thing we need to do, I think, is with the earth, right? Because now that we have the ingots, we just need to get 5, 6, 7, 8 white rock. And for that, we need earth essence. The earth essence, of course, requires the earth shards, which require the earth crystal. The earth crystal we can make with grass, more drenched ingots, and dirt. And the grass we can make with just grass and dirt. And the grass is actually super easy now that we have the generalized overworld prediction, but of course we can also do it in here as well, should we. So where should also we can just shear, we can bone meal and shear grass, which is probably what we'll do, actually. That's the probably the easiest by far way to do that. So yeah, let me move this back, because I did temporarily steal it from the earth section. So I'll put that over here again, like so. And then we want to grab our stone. Let me quickly check. Is this an infuser recipe? It is an infuser recipe. So we need to do that kind of like on one of these. And so I'm going to grab this. Although, yeah, we got 7 drenched iron there. That's not quite enough to make 2 batches. So I'm hoping that 1 batch of earth is going to be enough. But let's go see if we can't make this happen. So up here, if we did want to make some earth crystals, so I think we are going to need these. Do we have what it takes? We do not. Do we have grass, though, from the last time we did this? We totally do. How much do we have? Quite a bit. Lovely. All right, let's do 1 of these. Let's do 2 of these. The large one's quite useful, though, actually. And then let's go and see if we can't make this happen. So we've got the stuff we need. We just need stone, actually, right? If we're going to finish this off. Yes, we need stone, which we currently do not have. All right, so once we've got 8 stone, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put kind of as much earth into here as we can. So I'll put in the big crystal, and then I'll put in all the small crystals, and then we'll give it a quick time in a bottle tap to hopefully fill this up as much as we can. Once it is pretty filled up, we're then going to go ahead and just kind of break this, replace it with the element infuser, like that, and then we can start putting our stone on there, and hopefully that's going to use up some of the element in here to make the stone. Nice. And I'm hopeful that we have enough. Like, we got 7 more of these small crystals here. I'm not super confident, given that we just ran out, but I'm somewhat confident that we might have enough earth crystals to make this happen. And if we don't, we can just do the same thing again. We can go and get some more drenched iron and kind of repeat the whole process to get more. Surprisingly, as soon as I put that down, it started making more earth again. So it might actually kind of retain whatever was in it before, but we can put more in here, of course, and continue to fill this up. And yeah, we're going to keep doing that, and hopefully we get 8 white rock. All right, so we did have to actually make 1 more set of raw earth shards. Annoyingly, it was so close, but we did have to do this 1 more time. Thankfully, we already had 3 drenched iron ingots, and so making 1 more was not too big of a deal. And now we've got a bunch of extra earth shards for the future, should we need them. But we also have the white rock, which means we now have everything that we need in order to make, I think, the gem crystallizer and the pure infuser. For the pure infuser, we're just missing 1 element infuser, which we should be able to make. Let's make another contained gem. Let's use that to make an element infuser, and then let's use that to make the pure infuser. Okay, so now that we have both of these, that's 2 more free B-Bucks. You'll love to see it. Now, the pure infuser is used for the pure crystal. That's okay. And the gem crystallizer is used to make these gems. And we need to make 1 of each gem in order to progress. Specifically, I think the next thing we should do is make 1 of each creative element container, because once we do that, we no longer have to worry about making any more of like the essence inside. Also, real quick, let me just get rid of this guy. But we no longer have to worry. Is he climbing the ladder here? Come back down, you coward. We no longer have to worry about getting the actual like element, right? We no longer have to worry about using the this guy here, the element evaporator. To get the element, we just have unlimited of the element that we can then send around using pipes, which is ideal. So to make these, we need 4 of them. So we need 32 generalized ender prediction if we're going to get all 4 of them up and running, and then each one requires its own gem. So we got a fire gem, we've got an air gem, a water gem, and an earth gem. Okay, so we need to make each one of those. And to do that, we need to use the gem crystallizer, which we have right here. And it looks like the gem crystallizer goes on top of an element container. So I'm going to break the element binder here, and I'm going to place the gem crystallizer on top, like so. And then it's a little tricky to pass, but I think what we need to do here is place like a diamond inside. I might start with the water one because it's potentially easier. I think we place a diamond inside, then a water crystal on top. I'm wondering if there's 2 things we can place there, and then throw a a water shard over it? I actually don't know, but we can try and figure this out. So let's connect you up. Let's set you to extract. Let's disconnect over here. Actually, let's go ahead and reconnect over here and set this to extract, like so. That's going to start pumping water into here, which is perfect. We can then disconnect this because we don't want to do that, actually. Let me disconnect here because right now all that water was just getting pulled back out. Let's set that to insert again, and let's extract here and here because I do want all that water back inside of the large jar, not in the small jar. So that's going to do its thing over there. Let me go grab a couple of diamonds. Also, let's finish that off once and for all. Diamond-wise, we have 6, but we do have 4 more diamond ore in the system, although we do only need 4 for this. So, you know, I'll put the rest away for now. We'll come back to those as and when we need them. And yeah, let's see if we can't make this work. We're almost certainly going to need yet more water shards for this. So let's go and see if we can't once again make another contained crystal or 2. We do have one here that we can, of course, craft initially into another set. And do we have any more inert ore? We do. Okay, I keep shift clicking. It's like the opposite of how it works with like refined storage and applied energistics. Normally you shift click to take a stack and click to take one. With the RF tool storage scanner, it's flipped. But either way, now we can do this, and then we can start taking these, of course, to make more of these. And of course, then we can use those to make more of these. Perfect. Okay, and then we can take these, of course. And we do need one of these, right, to actually make the crystal happen by the looks of it. It goes on the top here. So if I were to place 1 diamond into the middle, and then maybe 1 crystal onto the top, that looks correct. Now, the only thing that confuses me, it looks like it's kind of doing something. There are particle effects happening. The bit that confuses me is just this kind of like shard to the left-hand side. It doesn't look like that's the case for this top recipe. And so I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and turn the rest of these into shards because I think we just need water for the most part for the rest of this craft to take place. But I actually don't know if we need to like put a shard on here somewhere. Or, oh yeah, no, maybe. There we go. Look at that. It's spinning around it. Interesting. That makes complete sense. Okay, this is, I think, good to go then. Let's dump all of these in here. Let's give this a quick tap to make it a fair bit faster. Actually, never mind. It is totally just done. Let's disconnect this. Oh, that was a crude gem. Why did I get a crude gem? Oh, it's a 5% chance. I see. Okay, right. That, not ideal. So I think in that case then, we probably want to make... Oh, do we want to make 4 pure crystals then? Back up here, this quest. Oh, but we can't do it. Oh, this is horrible. Because in order to make the pure crystals, we need to get the pedestals. Can the pedestal can't use the crude gem. I guess I could just do this again. I wonder if it changes. Is it more likely? Hold on. If I take this and I run it through the gem crystallizer again, here. Oh, okay, there's a 75% chance if you use a crude water gem. Okay. So I put this back in here. I need to go get, and thankfully I don't need another diamond. I thought I would need another diamond. But let's go get another set of water crystals. I really thought I wouldn't need them, which is why I crafted them all down. But over here, these are ready. Fantastic. Let's craft another one of you, and then let's craft up another batch of these. So now, if we head on back down, we can put one of these water crystals in on top of the crude crystal. And then we can take again one of these out and place it kind of floating around the outside again. And hopefully, if there's enough water element in there, which there will be hopefully as we extract out here, now that should have a 75% chance to complete. Maybe. Although it does still say 5%. It looked like it was changing earlier. All we can do, I guess, though, is try. Let me speed this up a tad. Okay, so I think I misread the numbers there because it transformed into the same thing again. You'll see here, there's still just a 5% chance. There's a 75% chance it turns back into the same thing. There's a 25% chance it becomes fine. And then there's a 5% chance it becomes what you want it to become. If we manage to get the fine one, can we then put that back in again? We can, But then with the fine one, there's another 75% chance that it goes back to crude. This is going to take forever because we have to, unless we hit like the 1 in 20. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we just do this again. We put this back in. We put this on here. And then we take another one of these out. Let me keep a few of these on me just in case, because I feel like we're going to need to do this forever. And then we put this back on here. And we just go again. We just kind of wait again. This is horrendous. Because the majority of the time, like 75% of the time, it's just going to keep turning back into the same thing. All right, so after way too much trial and error, it looks like there might be a solution. We got our first pristine gem, which is good. We need 3 more of them. It looks like what we can do is we can put the gem on, or it might even work with the diamond, I'm not quite sure. But it looks like there's a chance that you get the gem. With this one, it looks like it's 100% all the time, maybe? But I have a feeling that's not the case. If I go here, the chance, it says the chance there is 100%. The chance there, it says it's 100%. That's for the wrong one though, right? That's for the, oh yeah, here we go. So this is 5%. But it looks like if you add 10 of the shards around instead of just 1, that you're maybe guaranteed it. So we're going to give this a try. We have water in here that needs to be extracted now. So let's extract that out. I don't know if we've got enough space in this jar for it, but if we don't, we can always move some of these other jars over. So now we need to start moving in some other stuff. We need to start moving in. Yeah, we need to move a jar over here. We don't have enough. So now we'll go over and we'll do like air next, right? So I don't have a pickaxe on me. We need to get a bunch of air crystals because we need to have 10 air shards to put onto the... and actually, we do have some... earth shards is what I'm going to do next. We got 78 earth shards? How in the world do we get so many earth shards? I'm not going to complain about it. I'm happy that we have so many. So, the earth shards, that's actually fantastic. Right. We're going to take our diamond. We are going to get a pickaxe so that we can break one of these pipes and one of these containers, and we're going to move it out of the way. So we're going to pick you up, we're going to pick you up, and we're going to move it over. So let's do this and this. Disconnect that. We might need yet another jar because these things hold just a ton of essence. I mean, to be fair, I guess we could just leave these here and just set this to extract on this side, actually, now that I think about it. If we just do that, that should start to fill up some of these jars over here, and that's going to be perfect. You two are both full, so let's disconnect that. That's perfect. And then over here, we're going to connect this up and set this to extract. So hopefully, that is going to start to fill up with earth, which would be ideal. I can't help but notice that that's kind of emptied out of earth. Has the earth moved like over here? I don't see it. Let me disconnect that for a second. We'll come back to that in a second. Let me break this. And then let me break this. So we need our element evaporator onto here. This is where we're going to put all of our earth essence. And then once this is empty, which, can I just break and replace this? Does that work? If I break the element container, does that like have... No, that seemingly does not like void it of its elements. It's still got a little bit of water in there, annoyingly, which is surprising. I wonder if these have got a little bit in them because they seem to... Oh no, they're set to extract, Isaac. Fool, there we go. Let me quickly fix that like a fool. There we go. And let's disconnect that as well. Now that looks empty. Let's set you to insert and let's put like an air shard set in here. Okay, perfect. That is working. So what we want to do, we want to put... oh, we do need an earth crystal. We need one of them, at least. And hopefully, this might work just like 100% of the time. So if we get one more of these, which does require more drenched iron, which of course we don't have, that is fine. We have more iron. We'll take 3 more of those. And we have some more water crystals and some more water shards. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the water shards back in here, of course. We're going to do one of these. We're going to set you to insert like that. We're going to set you to extract. We're going to put this guy back on here. We're going to reconfigure this to do its thing to make the drenched iron. We need 4 drenched iron. We've got 0. That's fine, though. We can put more water shards in like this. And once we have 4 of these, we should then, I think, be good to go. I'm hoping this works. If it doesn't, I might just pull my teeth out because this... it looked like it was going to be this horrible situation where we had to just keep doing this over and over again until we got the 1 in 20 chance, because it's only 5%, which means on average 20 attempts. And if that was the case, that was going to be horrendous. But it looks like if you put 10 shards onto the gem crystallizer, maybe it's guaranteed to get you a water gem, or maybe we got really, really lucky. I'm hoping it's the former and not the latter. So let's head up here. Let's throw all that together into another earth crystal. This time we're going to put the earth crystal above the diamond. So the diamond goes in here, the earth crystal goes on top, and then we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 earth shards around it. And then we're going to put the rest of the earth shards in here. And we're going to wait. We're going to speed this up. We're going to speed this up to hopefully get us the gem. Now, last time we did have, not a diamond. Last time we had the other gem. I'm hoping it works with the diamond. If it doesn't, we do still have 59 more gems, and I think we have more, shards, not gems. We have 59 more shards, and we do have more, I think, upstairs as well, and we can always make more. But hopefully, this kind of just works. Let me make that even faster. Let's really start extracting as well. Just going for it. Hopefully, hopefully we get another pristine gem, because if this works, it's going to make getting the other two fairly straightforward, and then we're almost there at the end of the pack. If this doesn't work, it's going to be banned. It totally works. Look at that. Fantastic. You love to see it? All right. So now, all we need to do is the same thing 2 more times. We got to do it for the fire gem and the air. Okay, so now we have the earth gem. We do need to get the fire and the air. Again, most of these, though, require crystals, so we need to make fire crystals and air crystals. Chet has made a good point here, though, now. We need drenched iron for all of those, and what we can do now that we have this pure water gem is we can just use it to craft up the creative container. And with the creative container, that is apparently all of those quests complete. Nice. Unfortunately, it doesn't let us craft with all of those. I do wonder if we can just place it down here underneath the element infuser. I'm going to be a little annoyed if we can't pick this up. We totally can. Okay, sometimes creative items don't let you pick them up. If I do this, does that just make drenched iron? It totally does. We need to set this to extract. But even if we disconnect this now, which is unnecessary, I think now that this is just an unlimited source of water, and so we've got drenched iron in here, I assume that we can just time and a bottle this to make it much, much faster. And that's just going to start hopefully tearing through. And yeah, it looks like actually the pipe is the limiting factor there. But yeah, we're just making drenched iron. Cool. So now we don't need to worry about that at all, which is fantastic. We can just dump iron in and get drenched iron out. And then with that drenched iron, we can then begin to make things like the fire shards here. This requires a bucket of lava and blaze powder. So the bucket of lava we don't have. I do wonder if it has to be, oh no, a bucket of lava and 4 blaze powder. The blaze powder we don't have, but of course, as per before, we can do this and get some more blaze rods, and we can pulverize those blaze rods to get more blaze powder, of course. And we can also head on through to our blast chiller / magma crucible setup in the nether to get more lava. And if we really wanted to, of course, there are giant pools of lava in the nether as well that we could tap into to get that lava. Do we have any lava backing up here? We don't. That would have been real nice. Can I take the lava out of here? I totally can. So never mind. We do have many buckets of lava backing up, thanks to the fact that our blast chiller is full. Fantastic. So back in the overworld, we should be able to craft up some fire crystals. These guys right here. Let's go with... we need blaze powder, of course. The blaze powder doesn't have a drawer, and so it is just going to sit in here. That's fine. We might need more of it, so I'll leave them in there for now. Let's do a few of these. 6. We do already have 18 fire shards, so 6 might be enough, actually. And of course, we do need a diamond as well. So we're going to take all of these. We're going to put the diamond in like this. We're going to place the fire shard on top. Let me first get as many shards as we can. This is going to go on top here. Then we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those in there. Put you in here. Accelerate this and accelerate this to make it nice and fast. And again, if this works, unless we've gotten incredibly lucky, which I don't think is the case, and we hit like a 5% chance twice in a row, I think this might just work. And then once this is done, we can do the exact same thing with the air crystal. Again, now that drenched iron is basically free, we just need glass, and glass is also easy enough for us to get as well. So I think things are looking pretty good here. And look at that. It didn't work. It didn't work. We got a fine gem, not a pristine gem. Interesting. So that's annoying. I guess it's not a 100% chance. It's just a very, very high chance. That is unfortunate. It does mean we're going to have to craft another fire crystal. That's fine. We have more blaze, thankfully. And we can make that a reality. We've got 2 more tries here. That should be fine. I say 2 more tries. I don't know if we're going to have enough fire shards now to make this happen again, but we might do. Well, let's do... that's already in there. Let's put you on top. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like this. And then we'll put the rest in here. I'm going to give up on this chance because I think we just need all the fire element that we can get. Hopefully, this one does it for us. And hopefully 14 fire shards is enough. All right, second time that did work, thankfully. Good stuff. Let me take those out just so that we can hopefully... again, empty this way. I don't think we're going to be able to empty this way without making another jar here, potentially. Unfortunately, although I guess we do have one here that we could potentially use if we need it. And it looks like we... Oh, it looks like we don't, actually. This looks like it's full. Okay, perfect. So now we're back to air again. So we'll disconnect here. We'll reconnect here. And we will disconnect here. Reconnect here. And then, of course, set all these to extract. Let's go start to fill that up with air. Fantastic. All right, we need to go get an air gem, which again should be pretty straightforward. It's just glass. And hopefully we're pretty close here. So, air crystal. Do we have what it takes? We don't. We're missing some drenched iron, but downstairs we should have a bunch of drenched iron in here. We do. We got 59. Lovely. And 62 with the extra that we had in our inventory already. Fantastic. All right, so over in here, let's make a few of these. 10 is fine. Okay, I think 10 should be enough. We'll see. Again, hoping, praying that we get it the first time, but who's to know? Real quick, before I go down again, I do want to check on my ender matter, because we did need 32 of that. We need 24 more, and we currently have 37. That's perfect. We don't need any more of that. Good to know. I have been checking up on my mana pool periodically. It did fill up once, and I did make another Terra Steel, so we have one of those ready to go. Down here, though, we should be pretty much good to go. Let's put you in here. Let's put the air crystal on top. I'm going to keep one air crystal just in case we have to do this again, but I'm really hopeful we don't have to. Let's turn all the rest of them into shards, and then let's put, of course, 10 shards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is the max, by the way. You can't put more than 10 shards on there. And then with that, we can take our... not small element container. I guess we can steal one of these element evaporators, place it down over on here, and drop this guy in. And if luck is in our favor, this will get us our 4th and final pristine gem. In a cruel twist of fate, we got a crude gem, which is just horrible. Oh gosh, okay, fine. Let's try this again. You go in again. You go on top. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, hopefully this time we get pristine. Our luck has faded. We got another crude gem. That's horrendous. I did have to make yet more air shards. One. Oh, I can't put these on until I put the crystal on. I made more gems, and apparently that wasn't enough. So, back up we go. And again, we're going to make another... Oh, we're out of glass now, eh? Okay. Really, we're fully out of glass. We are fully out of glass. We've got a tiny bit of glass left. If I take both sands, I think we have enough if I put this in here to get like one more set of crystals, which hopefully should be enough. This one's taken by far the longest. Let's do this. We got 2 more. So we got 2 more attempts. I'm confident that some of the others took like 1 attempt. Let's do this. And then let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and the rest can go back in here. Speed it up. Come on, pristine gem. All right, it did take 2 more attempts, but we have it. Finally, the air pristine gem. Okay, so I think that's almost all of the elemental craft stuff we have to do. Let's craft up the creative earth container, the creative air container, and of course the creative fire container. Okay, so now we're almost at everything we need for the weather catalyst, right? We only need the fireite block. So now we go back over here. This is where we need the pure infuser. So the thing is, the horrible thing is, we need more of these crystals. We need to get one more. We need to get one more of each crystal because we need to make a fire pedestal, a water pedestal, an earth pedestal, and an air pedestal. And then once we have one of each pedestal, then we can look at making the pure crystal. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about the elements because the elements we're going to have, right? We do need to make a water crystal. That's fine. Yeah, we need to make one of each crystal, put those on the 4 different pedestals, make sure they have essence. I don't know if we pump essence into the pedestals or if we just kind of put them on top of their creative containers. I imagine that might be more likely to be the case. And then we've got the pure infusion. Okay. All right. Requires a high amount of source to craft, use the best pipes, and have a large amount of source ready to go. That's fine. And then we need 9 of these. That's actually fine. We need 9 diamonds, but we also need 9 of each crystal. All right. So yeah, now it's back to square one. Now we need to get 1 of each crystal again. And then with that, we can hopefully make the pedestals. And again, the same rigmarole later. We now have another 1 of each of these pristine gems. And so now we can start to look at, hopefully, producing these pure crystals. We need 9 of them to make the 9 fireite ingots. So, to make that happen, we need the pedestals. Fire, air, earth, water. Each one of these is made with the same recipe. It's just the crystal that changes. So we need to get 4 swift alloy ingots, and we need to get 8 white rocks. The white rocks are the easiest of them all because we can just place down our creative earth container. We can steal our little element infuser here, and we just need to put some stone directly onto that. And again, given that we have infinite amounts of earth essence, that's all we need to do basically. After that, we just need to get the swift ingots, right? So we need, 4 of those to make 1 for each pedestal. We do. That seems fine. Again, we've got an unlimited amount of air essence now. We do need to get 4 air crystals, but the air crystals are pretty straightforward. The air crystals here are just glass, and glass is pretty straightforward. We have more glass down here. We made the glass by smelting sand, and we made more sand by throwing cobble into our mana pool with the alchemy catalyst. So getting more of those, easy enough. There's our 4 air crystals. So let's put some stuff away. We got so much stuff in our inventory here that we don't need to be carrying around. And let's grab 8 stone. We got 14. That's fine. Let's do something like this. Dump the rest of those away. And then down here, while I'm up here, let me grab the other stuff that we need as well. We do need this. We don't need you. Don't need the buckets, I don't think, going forward. What we do need is we need some gold. Specifically, we need 4 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. We also need 4 copper. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 redstone. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what else do we need? We need 4 drenched ingots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. And I think that's kind of it, right? Yeah, and then, of course, 4 air crystals, which we have. And the order here is gold, drenched, copper, redstone, air crystal. Okay, perfect. I think we are about good to go. And again, we got a creative air tank now, so it's nowhere near as tricky as it was earlier in the pack. Instead, we can just put these on here. We can, of course, use our time in a bottle to make this hopefully a little bit faster. And then we can just kind of take these off, put these on, and just keep doing that until we have 8 of the pieces of stone. Nice. We can then place down our creative air guy, and then we need to get the binder. Yes, this guy right here, the element binder. That's going to go directly on top like that, and then we can get rid of all these. We can bring all these down, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course, time in a bottle to make it. Actually, it's kind of fast enough already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we can make it a lot faster, of course, for no good reason. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just for testing, I think it's probably the case that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would also work. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it does have to go in the specific order. So it needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. It does. Interesting. Okay, but either way, we now have the 4 Swift alloy ingots, and so I think we should be good to make the pedestals. These are made on top with the element binder, but you just need to swap out the thing each time. Okay, fine. So we'll do it with this one first because we already have air. So to make the air pedestal, we need an element infuser. How do we make more element infusers? We need more crystals. Okay, I think we should probably just make more element infusers. We do have one hanging around down here, but we might need it again in the future. So actually, we probably won't need it again in the future now that I think about it, because oh no, we definitely will need it in the future, potentially. So let's head back up. Let's make some more element infusers. We need 4 more so we can make all of these. We should also eat because we are tremendously low on hunger right now. It looks like I've put all of my toast away in the system. That's fine. Again, gotta remember, I don't shift click here. I just click and I get the full stack. Fantastic. Quick reload as well to get rid of that. Oh, that broken dock texture is just broken, eh? Is that? Oh, there we go. It's fixed. All right. So I assume the recipe is the same for all of these. It is. I need 4 of these, which means I need 4 of these. To get 4 of those, I need inert crystals. Do I have any more inert ore? I do not. That should be fine, though, because we do have a ton of frozen stone ready to go. We can drop that frozen stone into this guy over here. That should get us at least a couple more inert ores, unless we get tremendously unlucky. We got 2, which, 3, which is kind of unlucky. There could be a few more that managed to get collected down here. Nope, that's fine. Let me dump the rest of these down here, and then let's smelt these up. So I'll put you in. We'll give that a time in a bottle. We do still have almost 6 hours left in here, which is perfect. That's only going to get me 3, though. And I do need... Oh, no, we got one already. Perfect. 4. Nice. And then let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good. So I think we're now good to go. Yes. Where is my earth gem? It's in the system. I would like you on me, please. Okay. So down here on the air pedestal, in the right order, let me get out of the cold. We're going to start with the element infuser. We're going to follow it up with the crystal. We're going to follow that up with the swift alloy ingot. And then we're going to follow that up with 2 stone. We're going to give it a time in a bottle speed up because this takes a lot of element. But again, we've got infinite, so it shouldn't matter. Gosh, it does take a really long time. Boom, there we go. Nice. Okay, cool. That was 16 times the speed. That is fine. If I get rid of that, it does get rid of the top one, unfortunately. But we can do the same over here with the with the earth element. So we're going to do you. Oh, no, sorry. Was that? Hold on. Let me check. Yeah, no, the crystal goes second. Okay, so we do you, then 2 of you, then speed it up. Nice and quick. Not really much use of our time in a bottle outside of this. And that should be everything for the next pedestal. Nice. Okay, cool. Then we get rid of this yet again. This time we replace it with fire. This one right here. Fire goes down, binder goes on top. We go element infuser, we go fire crystal, we go swift alloy, and we go 2 white rock. Give it a quick increase to maybe 32 times the normal speed. And that should be good to go. And then once that's done, chat, we're going to be there. This one is done. Lovely. Pick it up. And then let's pick you up. I'll pick this up just because we need it to craft in a second. Although, of course, we are going to do all of our elemental crafting before we get rid of that, because otherwise that would be insanity. And then over here, we're going to replace down, yet again, the element binder, element infuser, pristine crystal, swift alloy, 2 rocks, 32x speed increase. And that should be all the pedestals. And with all the pedestals, we can now look at finally making the pure crystal. So how in the world this works, I do not know. The quest book does not give a tremendous amount of information. So we have to put down the infuser. That I know. This makes it a little easier. So I guess it doesn't really matter which way you put these down. It looks like it is fine no matter what. 'Cause it kind of just, they all rotate. So I'm just going to put them down like this. Now, annoyingly, it looks like we have to pump into them. So this is like the water pedestal. I think we have to use a pipe to pump in. And the pipe that we have currently is tremendously bad. So my question then becomes, how expensive at elemental, how expensive are the higher tier pipes? So there is the impaired elemental pipe and the elemental pipe, and then there's the improved elemental pipe and the creative elemental pipe. We have the impaired pipe. To upgrade it, you just need drenched iron. That's actually fine. And then to improve it, you need swift alloy. I see. Okay. So I'm intrigued. I think we might be able to just get away with the drenched version. Let me take a few of these. I think we do have some in the system. I'm going to break quite a few of them. And then, this one is a regular element pipe. Oh, so we have 2 element pipes. Interesting. If I put that here, so this one's already a fast one. I set that to extract. And then I maybe do like this. That does start to fill up quite quickly. Okay, I think we might use our time in a bottle to kind of, I don't want to say cheese this, but just to make our lives a little quicker. So we need 9 diamonds now. This is where it gets a little dicey for us, because our diamond game is not particularly strong. But over here, we do have 1 diamond and 4 diamond ore. 4 diamond ore should get us 9 diamonds. Almost certainly. I would ideally prefer to have some flint inside of our pulverizer here, although it looks like we are fully out of flint. We can induction smelt a gravel, and we do have quite a bit of gravel actually. So again, just to try and maximize our chances of getting more than 2 diamonds per setup, I will take some of the flint here. The flint doesn't get used up every single time. There's only a small chance that it does get used up. So we'll do this. We will do this. Oh, I need to smelt this first, of course. I'm a fool. Let me go and do this and this. And we'll pulverize all these. Hopefully that gets us at least 9 diamonds. Although, even if it doesn't, we do still need to get more ancient debris, because we need more ancient debris in order to get the netherite that we need. Because we need 9 netherite to make the 9 fireite as well. And so we are going to have to use some of our mana to go back through to the nether and use the orchid ignum yet again. So we are going to get more diamonds kind of passively through that. For now, though, we do have 12 diamonds. Perfect. And again, we only need 9 of those. Now, we do also need to get 9 of each crystal to move forward here. Do we have any crystals? We do. Look at that. We got 9 water crystals. So we need at least 1 of each crystal to get started, though, right? So thankfully, we almost have that. The only thing we're missing is the fire crystal. And for the fire crystal, we are missing drenched ingots. Yes, we're missing drenched ingots. I will take some iron with me in case we don't have any downstairs, but I think it's possible we might have some drenched ingots potentially still inside of here. We do not, unfortunately. Okay, in that case, then we're going to have to replace down our water tank over here. And this is where, again, it was a good idea that we didn't get rid of too many of these, because this is where this becomes useful again. Let's do this, and let's do maybe this. We could also make some pipe upgrades as well. That would also potentially help make this a bit faster. But this is probably already fast enough. And we are going to need a lot more drenched iron, of course. That's why I've left a full stack in there, because we need to make 9 of each crystal. For now, I'm just making 1 of each to kind of show off how this works. Then we can go and craft the rest after the fact. But boom. All right. I think that we are pretty much good to go here. Downstairs, we want to put 1 of each crystal onto their respective pedestals. So here is the water pedestal. So we're going to put the water crystal on. This one is the air pedestal. Air crystal. Fire gets fire. Earth gets earth. And then I don't know if these need to be full or if they need to be like more than full. But for now, I'm going to assume they need to be full, and then we can always add more if we need to. And basically, I'm just going to let that do its thing. Over here, we're going to take this away because this one's already full. We'll put you here, and we'll put down the earth tank here. Set that to extract. This one is almost full. I have a feeling it's going to need more than a full tank's worth, but I actually don't know that because this is already full, which makes me think there's actually not that much in there. But who knows? We might need higher tier pipes, quite possibly. We'll set that to extract. We'll give this a bump as well. I think all of these are full. This is on its way to being full. If I put the diamond in the middle, it starts doing its thing, and yeah, these start to empty out real fast. Okay. I'm hoping that this retains its progress, because I guess what we're going to do now is we're going to... I imagine it does. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to place this down over here to pump into here, and we're going to go get some more upgraded pipes. For that, we do need these drenched ingots. Again, thankfully, we've got a lot of them. And so, upstairs, can we produce some of these higher tier pipes? If I had checked this earlier, I might have made more of these swift ingots because they were not too difficult to make. But I think we should be able to fairly easily do this and get more element pipes. And then from there, I think we can just time in a bottle these, and they should be good to go. So let's do you, extract, you are already set to extract, you need to extract, and you are already set to extract. So if we do like 2, 4, 6, 16, 16, 16, 16, I can't help but notice this isn't doing anything. Let me check the recipe on that again real quick. That looks to be the recipe. And these are empty? Maybe they just need a staggering amount of essence. All right, so that did work. It just took a while. Whilst I was waiting for that to finish, because we need to do this 9 times, I did go ahead and grab the required items to make some more, to make 2 more Swift alloy ingots so we can upgrade these 4 pipes to the highest tier pipes. So which one of these is air? It is this one here. So if we do this, we should be able to, as per usual, do gold, drenched copper, redstone, gold, drenched copper, redstone. There we go. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to get us our first Swift ingot. Boom. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. And then we're going to pick up the element pipes, and we're going to make those into improved pipes just to hopefully move things over a little bit faster. Because I did the 16x acceleration, and then the 16x acceleration kind of came and went, like it finished, and it still took a long time after that for this to finish. So I think we do want to go with the higher tier pipes and potentially even speed those up as well, because we need a lot of these. So let's do something like this is what I want to do. Upgrade these to improved element pipes. And then now, basically, what we're going to do, we're going to place these down here, extract, here, extract, here, extract, and here, extract. We're then going to take our 12 diamonds. I'm going to go ahead and craft up 8 more of the air crystals, the earth crystals, and the fire crystals. I don't think any of those should really be particularly difficult for us to do. The air crystals, which we've just made some more of to make the Swift alloy here, the air crystals are just glass. We do need more bottles. That's fine. Let's do this and this. That gets us to 8. Perfect. Fire is maybe the trickiest one. Earth is not too bad. Earth crystals just require the glass. And by glass, I mean grass. And dirt, eh? I probably should not have used the last of our dirt, simply due to the fact that the last of the dirt could have been used with gravel to make more dirt. However, there is some dirt over there. I was going to say, though, however, we can just go and steal some dirt from the ground. There is quite a bit of it lying around. To do that, I should probably grab my my shovel. Good stuff. And then that should be fairly easy. And then in terms of making the lava crystal, it's just a case of going and getting some more. How much dirt do we have down here? Oh, this is gravel. In terms of making, hello my friend, hello my friends, plural. In terms of making the lava crystals, it's just a case of going and grabbing the lava buckets from the blast chiller, and then we just need to run all of that stuff through the pure infuser, and then we should be finally good to go. Back over here, 2. That's 4 actually, not 2. Do I have 2 more grass worth? I do. Fantastic. And boom, 8. Okay, good. We're almost there. Now we just need to get some more fire crystals. I don't think we have any buckets of lava left over. We do not, and we are going to need to get 4 of them, basically, if we want to make this work. I do believe we should have way over 4 buckets of lava available in the blast chiller. And with those, we should be able to do 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're out of drenched iron of all things again. Let me go take some more iron down. We are running a little bit low on iron, which is concerning. Getting more shouldn't be tremendously difficult, but we'll find out if we have enough here. I don't think we need much iron for the final part of the pack here. We are going to have to move this guy back again. Like, we could do it manually, but it's easier to do it on the automated setup over here if we just put this down like that, and just leave these going again with a bit of help from the time in the bottle. And I guess while we wait, though, we can get the next craft going, so we can throw down 1 diamond in the middle, boom, and then, of course, 1 water, 1... I say get the craft going, like, it's not going to go particularly well because there's not enough water essence. The water essence is all over here. This does need to be set to extract, of course, to extract it nice and quickly. But we're basically, I think, almost done with the elemental craft stuff. Almost done. 19 drenched ingots should be enough to come back, finally, up to the surface up here, hello my zombie friend, we should be able to craft the remaining of those. And once we have 8, now we just need to go move my pickaxe into my hotbar. My pickaxe, I mean my sword, into my hotbar. Move the water source from here over to here. Make sure it's set to extract. And that should be good to go. These are empty, which means it is... Oh, you're not empty, which is interesting. Have I done this right? Air, fire, earth, water. Oh, now it's filling up with water. There we go. Okay, that's now working. And hopefully, that is pulling it out quite fast, but it looks like the pipe's doing okay, actually. If I give this a tap, that starts to empty those out real fast. Okay, so then I do this. Does that make it any quicker? I wonder if that's... Oh, it's still pulling all of these out. Interesting. So yeah, it looks like it keeps going. Like the particle effect stopped, but I do think it continues to pull. But that was substantially faster. Nice. Okay, now let's just do it 7 more times. All right. Boom. We have 9 pure crystals. Good. And I think that's almost the last that we have to do of elemental craft. We do need to make 9 fire-right ingots. And of course, to do that, we need 9 swift alloy ingots, 9 spring-align ingots, which we made earlier. We can make more with those. It's fine. We have the 9 pure crystals. Now we just need 9 netherite. So, back up here. We do have some netherite, but just not enough, I think. Let me put these away for safekeeping. So, if I type in frozen, we have got 11 frozen ancient debris, and netherite-wise, we have got nothing. We've got just netherite armor, which is kind of useless here. I don't even think we can, like, melt this down. We cannot. Okay, that's fine. So, we can take the frozen ancient debris, we can smelt it into regular ancient debris. As we saw earlier, that gets us 2, and it takes 4 to make a netherite ingot. If we need 9 netherite ingots, that means we need 36 netherite scrap, which means we need 18 ancient debris, which means we're actually pretty close here. There's not too much more we need. All we need to do is get some more mana. Whilst we were making those pure crystals, I did make 2 more terra steel, so I kind of used up this entire mana pool here. But we do now have 3 terra steel, which is good, because in order to make these, we need this guy, and this guy requires 3 terra steel. It also requires 3 shimmer rock. We'll come back to this in a second. There's no need to do that just yet. But let me go over here. Basically, we're going to take our mana tablet. We're going to head back through to the nether. We're going to fill it up over here. These are doing pretty well. You'll see that we are at basically 5 full mana pools worth of mana. And so what I'm going to do here, just to make it more efficient, I think, is I'm going to take like a little bit of mana out of each mana pool so that each one of these can get back to working. Because even though we've only taken a little bit, it does take a little while to fill that little bit back up. And just to try and maximize our mana production here, we'll take a little bit out of each one. We'll head through to the nether. We'll try and get some more ancient debris. It might take a couple of mana tablets worth of mana to get the remaining 7 frozen ancient debris that we need. But hopefully it should be doable with what we have. And then hopefully we've got enough mana left to actually make everything else that we need, including those 4 Gaia Spirit ingots. All right, so we have all of the ancient debris. It actually didn't take too much more mana to get us there because there was quite a bit of mana stored up in the nether, thanks to the fact that we did chunk load and re-engage the energized arrow setup from before. So there was a decent amount of mana in that pool that built up over the massive amount of time that it took us to do all of the elemental craft stuff. But now in here we have the 36 netherite. And so if we put that back in with some gold, I don't think we're going to have enough gold. However, as we saw earlier, we can craft gold from iron, which I am going to do. And we'll drop all of that into here to hopefully get us all of the required netherite. That's going to get us the 9 netherite required. And I guess while we wait for this, let me go and craft up the required swift alloy ingots and the required other item as well. We need 9 swift alloy and 9 spring align shards. Both of these should be a lot easier now than they were earlier, thanks to the fact that we have unlimited essence. All right. So 9 spring align shards and 9 swift alloys later, and also upstairs, I think 9 netherite ingots later. I think we're good to go here. Up here, we have got 4 netherite ingots. That's because I guess I didn't put enough gold in there. That is fine. We can make yet more gold. We are running a little low on iron, but I think we should be fine. Let me do this, and let me do this. That's going to get us all of the remaining netherite. Fantastic. And so now, to make the fiery ingots, we just need netherite, swift, spring, crystal. Netherite, swift, spring, and I think I put the crystals away. Let me go grab those real quick. Fantastic. And that should be everything to make the 9 fire ingots. These need to be made on top of the fire container, like so. And we just go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think that's it, if I'm not mistaken. It is just that simple. I'm going to give this a tap. There we go. Fantastic. I have no idea. It probably took quite a while without the time in the bottle, so I'm just trying to make this a lot faster because we need to do it 9 times. And I don't want to wait around for all of that to happen, and we do have quite a bit of time inside of our bottle. So there is number 6. This is number 7. And hopefully before the 128 runs out, that's not in the right order, which I think is wrong. So we need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's number 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4. It didn't last long enough, so we're going to get an idea here of how long it's going to take. But this should be number 9, which we can then craft into a block. So down here, the quest is complete. I'm going to claim all of my 10 B-Bucks. Thank you, Ben, for that. We've got 3 hours and 20 minutes left, so I'm just going to speed this up again. 16x is probably fast enough. It does take an awfully long time, though. There we go. Fantastic. Okay, so now back upstairs. We can craft 9 Fireite ingots into 1 Fireite block. We'll do that in the old crafting table down here. Boom. And that's this quest here complete. So now we do have what it takes to make the weather changer, and I think we can just make it because I don't think there's any more elemental craft left to do. I'm not going to do it just yet. I'm going to hold off on doing it because I don't want to be surprised by like another thing that requires elemental craft. Then we've got to come back, and it's a pain if we don't have the creative element containers. So now we can focus solely. Let me unbookmark a lot of this stuff. We don't need these 4 anymore. We don't need these 2 anymore. We don't need you, don't need you, don't need you, don't need you. We can now focus on these, right? We need to get the weather catalyst. So diamond ore wise, we got 4 more diamond ore from when we were trying to get more netherite. Let's get that smelting because we are going to need more diamonds. We need 8 in order to make the 4 time in the bottles. The ice shard's easy enough. Now the real challenge is making 4 Gaia steel ingots. So the easiest part about this is making the dragon stone and the pixie dust. And the pixie dust is by far and away the easiest bit. So we need to make obviously 4 of these ingots, which means we need 4 of each things here. So 4 pixie dust is just 4 mana pearls through the portal. Perfect. Straightforward. Then we need the 4 diamonds. So here we have diamonds ready to go. Let me throw those into the pulverizer. That pulverizer does still have flint. I am going to fill it up with even more flint because we did leave our gravel in the pulverizer, so we do have a ton more flint ready to go, and we'll give that a loving tap to make it a bit faster. That should almost certainly get us for at least 4 diamonds, and we'll do the same thing here. We'll make 4 mana diamonds, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll throw those through the portal. Nice, I guess it's 4 dragonstone. Now, in terms of the 4 Gaia ingots, this is where it gets a bit awkward, because here we need to make 4 of these. I did temporarily put a chest down over here. Let me grab this. How are we doing on mana in the middle here? We're actually pretty close. I am going to go ahead and fill this up once again to the halfway mark so that we can make 1 more terrasteel, because that 1 more terrasteel will give us what we need to make all 4 of the Gaia ingots. Not to be confused with the Gaia steel ingots. These Gaia spirit ingots here are what we're going to use to upgrade to Gaia steel, and so I do need 1 more terrasteel to make that happen. And then of course we need 3 more terrasteel on top of that in order to make the terrasteel catalyst right here that we need to turn Gaia spirits into Gaia shards. Over here, this is full. Fantastic. And so that should be everything we need to make 1 more terrasteel. But real quick, I'm just going to go ahead and use all the mana that we've got in our mana pools here to make 4 more terrasteel. And there we go. That's 4 terrasteel ingots. So we can make 1 more Gaia steel ingot. That's correct. Don't make any more than that, Isaac. And then we want to make the Terra catalyst, this one right here. For that, the only thing we're missing is the regular catalyst, which we got upstairs. In fact, we probably could make another one of these, though, but there's no need to. And then we're also missing 4 of this shimmer rock. So the shimmer rock is living rock mixed with Bifrost block, and Bifrost block is Alf Glass plus the Rod of the Bifrost, and the Rod of the Bifrost is 2 Pixie Dust, 2 Elementium, and 1 Dragonstone. Okay, so we actually have everything there apart from the Elementium, and so for that, we need to get some iron ingots, and if we want 2 Elementium, that means we need 4 iron. Also just noticed it looks like our system is like mistaken about how much iron we have. We need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need to throw those through here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. That should be everything that we need for the Rod of the Bifrost. We are going to have to remake some of that Dragonstone and Pixie Dust, but we can do that in a second. That Rod of the Bifrost then allows us to make the Bifrost block, but for that we need Alph Glass. Alph Glass is mana glass through the portal. Mana glass, as you may have guessed, is just glass thrown in a mana pool. So you do this, then you do this, and then you do this, get the Alph Glass, and then the Alph Glass can be crafted with the Living Rock to make the Shimmer Rock. 1, 2, 3. I made 3. I don't know why I made 3. I need 4. Let's do 1, 2, and 3. Nice. So then we can put that in here, do one of these. That gets us the 4 Shimmer Rock. And so now we're just missing the Catalyst. The Catalyst is upstairs. It's hiding out from way back at the beginning of the series over here. This is where our base used to be before we did some base redesigning. We also have a Wandering Trader that's arrived at some point. But either way, back down here, we should be able to now craft up the Terra Catalyst. Fantastic. And using the Terra Catalyst, we can now make the Gaia Shards. So I don't actually know if we have anything underneath this mana pool. I don't think that we do. I should probably do this one here because this one doesn't have anything on it. Oh, of course, we have the Orchid under here. That's fine. Let me temporarily get rid of this. And getting out of here could be tricky now that I've fallen down. Never mind. But what we should be able to do is drop the Terra Catalyst underneath the mana pool, like so. This should have still a decent amount of mana in it, or at least a little bit. It does. And so now, if we want to make Gaia Shards, it should just be a case of dropping a Gaia Spirit into here. Nice. That gets us 8 Gaia Shards. Fantastic. So, to make the Gaia Agglomeration Plate, we need the Terrestrial Agglomeration Plate. We also don't have much space in the system. We can start dumping some stuff. We need 3 blocks of Elven Lapis. So Elven Lapis is Mana Lapis. Mana Lapis is just Lapis. Okay, cool. So we need 3 blocks of Lapis. It looks like it uses a lot of mana to make those blocks of Lapis. The image there can be somewhat confusing sometimes, because I think we do have enough mana here to do that. And then if we want to upgrade that to the mana, we just throw it through the Elven Portal, of course. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Lovely. Okay, I think we might need more of that. Looking at the Lexica Botania right here at the next tier, it looks like we need 4 more of that Lapis block to kind of do the same thing that we've done with the Terrestrial Agglomeration Plate here. So real quick, let me get 1, 2, 3, 4 more blocks of Lapis. I don't know if we're gonna have enough mana for this. Yeah, we're not. That's fine. We can go and get the we can go and get some more from our mana tablet in just a second. We'll drop that in the system. We then need a Rune of Energy and a Rune of Teleportation. So the Rune of Energy requires Air and Fire Rune. Do we have an Air and Fire Rune? Of course we don't. It's the only 2 runes that we don't have. And then in terms of Rune of Teleportation, that requires a Rune of Mana. This looks fairly doable. Okay, I'm going to go and do some rune crafting real quick. This all looks really straightforward. It's all stuff we've done before. And once we have those runes, we can then just pick up the Terrestrial Agglomeration Plate, and we should be good to go. I'll also go and grab some more mana from our other mana pools, and we'll move that over to get the remaining Mana Lapis, and then we'll also make, of course, the remaining pink Lapis. I keep forgetting the name of it. It's the Elven Lapis with the Elven Portal as well. All right, so a little bit of rune crafting later. I have the Rune of Teleportation. Easy enough. I made the Rune of Mana, and then upgraded it with the Mana Diamonds and the Ender Pearl, and I made the Rune of Energy. We've made this before. Earlier in the pack, it was used for our Energized Errors, these guys right here. And so now the only thing we're missing is the Terrestrial Agglomeration Plate, which we can, of course, go and steal from over here. We also, of course, have the extra Elven Lapis required as well. There should be even more Elven Lapis in the system. There is indeed. Boom, there is our Gaia Agglomeration Plate. It doesn't need regular Living Rock, though. It does need Gaia Living Rock, which is also known as Elven Living Rock, actually, not Gaia Living Rock. I think it's this stuff right here, Dream Rock, which is just Living Rock thrown through the portal. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I need 5 of those because there is one for the middle as well. Let's take this and let's do this. Perfect. So I'm probably going to take both of the sparks that we have now. It probably makes more sense to do this over in here because this is where all of our mana's at, right? Especially not in these first 2 pools. These ones have been emptied, but over at the back here, this one's pretty full, this one's very full, and this one is also pretty full. So what I'm thinking is that if we go ahead and put our center rock here, like this, we can then put down our 4... Do I still have my shovel on me? I do not. We can put down our 4 Elven Lapis around like this, and then our final 4 Dream Rock around like this. Sorry, cow. And I think that's ready to go in terms of actually making like the Gaia steel ingots. So to give it a try, we need 1 Gaia steel, we need 1 pixie dust, and we need 1 dragonstone. I think we might have 1 or 2 dragonstones left, but we are going to have to make more. Same with the pixie dust. The pixie dust again is the easier of the two because we can make really as many enderman pearls as we like using the simulation chamber. Dragonstone. Yeah, we got 3 in there. That's actually pretty good. We do need 1 more, and we are completely out of... Oh, no, we're not out of diamonds. Okay, perfect. This is actually maybe tremendously fine. Ender pearl-wise, we got 2 left, which is also surprisingly the exact amount that we need. We can do 1 of these, 2 of these, and throw all of that through the portal here. I've not filled up the portal since the beginning, so you can kind of get an idea here that you don't really need that much mana for the portal to work. And basically, all I'm going to do now, I might make 1 more spark here just to make sure we can kind of connect everything up. I think the problem here is like the petal choice. If we do this and click, perfect, got 4 sparks. So what we should be able to do now is put down 1 spark on here, and then a spark here, here, and here. And that should give this plate access to all of these pools. And so basically, what we're going to do now is we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and if things have been done correctly, which I believe they have, that should now begin to take mana out of all of these pools to produce our Gaia steel ingot. And it's not done it. I thought it had done it for a second. Don't pick it up until it's done, because otherwise you're going to waste some mana. I probably could have done with connecting this to 1 pool at once at first, because I don't actually know how much, if it takes a full mana pool or if it takes like half a mana pool, but that's done. We need to do that 4 times. My primary concern now is that we've come this far. We might not have enough mana to get this done, but I think we might, it looks like it uses a lot. We might be just a little bit shy of what we need. We might be a lot shy, actually. We might be able to do 3 or maybe just 2 because this is now depleted. That's that one done. I don't think we have enough left in these. I think it does need a full mana pool. So I think we need 2 more full mana pools worth of mana to finish this up here. But that's it. Once that's it, it's almost it. It's not quite it. Let me drop this back in here, and then let's do this. Because we still need to make the diamond bottles, which means we still need 8 more diamonds, which we don't have. So we're going to have to go and get those from the nether. But let me consolidate our remaining mana pools here. You can do this, by the way. You can time in a bottle the pool itself to kind of speed that along. And you can do the same when you're picking it up as well. You can drop this in and then do, one of these to pull it out nice and fast. And then the same is true on this side, of course. We can do this to pull that out faster. And then I think that's going to be enough for 3. Yeah, definitely. So we can get the 3rd Gaia steel here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to have enough mana from this pool, but I don't think we're going to have the full mana pool required to do the last Gaia steel ingot. And that's it. That's the only thing standing in the way of us finishing this pack. We have everything that we need to make the weather changer, and we have everything that we need to make this outside of a little bit of diamond, actually. So we are going to need to go get some diamond, but I think we can make that happen. I'm also pretty sure you can time in all this plate as well to make this transfer happen faster, but I do not want to mess with that. We do have 3.5 hours left in our time in a bottle, so we can potentially at this point start time in a bottling the Glaciflora to try and speed things up just a little bit. And yeah, we need to just try and get 1 full mana pool's worth of mana. I will also go check 2 things. I'll speed these all up a bit, and I'll even speed this guy up. Even though I don't have the mana spread, it really speeds up that well. But let me go and check if there is mana that I can steal from the main pool, and then I can also check the mana. There's a little bit here, not a ton. But then we can also check the mana in the nether as well, because there's probably a little bit of mana hanging out inside of that nether mana pool, thanks to those energized arrow flowers that have been running for quite some time. There's a non-insignificant amount of mana in this pool. It's not a ton, but it's actually a little bit that gets us a little bit closer to being able to get this 4th and final Gaia steel. I completely forgot that this mana pool over here existed. This one right here is the mana pool that feeds our furnace powering plant. And that, chat, is going to be enough mana to get us the last Gaia steel ingot. And on top of that, it's going to be enough mana for us to continually also. We can do this, of course. It's going to be enough mana for us to hopefully get the remaining 3 or 4 diamond ore that we need. We need 8 more diamonds. If we get 3 at a time, we only need 3 diamond ore, but if we only get 2 at a time, if we get a little unlucky, then we would need 4. But back over here, this is all we need for the final bits of Gaia Steel. Let's do this and let that fill up. As that fills up, we can get these 3 items ready. That is completely full. Fantastic. Let's go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to risk it, give it a test here. If I do that, I think it's going to pull just faster from the pool. Or maybe not, though, actually. It looks like it's not pulling that much faster. I don't know if we need to like speed up the sparks or what, but it's getting there. That's going to make it stuff. While that makes it stuff, I can go and quickly look at filling this mana tablet up again, because we're going to have to go through to the nether to try and get 3 or 4 more diamond ore that we're going to have to smelt up and then craft into the time in a bottle. And once we have those 4 time in a bottles, we can start the final bits of crafting required, and we're going to be good to go. We're so close. We are so close. Let me take this. I think 1 full mana pool, based on what we've done today, has a pretty decent chance of getting us 3 or 4 diamond ore. 3 obviously more likely than 4, but I think it's possible that just with that half mana pool, aka 1 full mana tablet, I think we should be able to get 8 diamonds. Let's go give it a try, though. We're going to head back, hopefully, for the final time today, through to the nether via this little underground portal right here. Drop it in. Switch it out. Give that a quick accelerate there to fill that up. And then let's see. Can we get 3 or 4 diamond ore? How lucky. We got so much ancient debris, which is all we need. We did get 3 diamond ore, which, again, if we get lucky, could be all that we need. If we get 3, 3, and 2, that's going to get us 8. If we get 3, 2, 2, that's not going to get us it. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful that we get 3, 3, 2. We do have the flint in the pulverizer, and so there should be over a 50% chance to boost it. Let's do this. The first one here is 3. That's what we want to see. The second one's 3, and the third one's 3. Let's go. The game is in our favor on this one. Let's take those 9 diamonds. Let's craft up. I guess we don't even need 3, because we could have probably actually used one of our pre-existing, like our 1 pre-existing time in a bottle to make it happen, now that I think about it. But anyway, let's make 4 more clocks. 1, 2, 3, 4 might as well. Let's make a little bit more gold, because I think we are a little light on it here. And then let's do these don't stack, right? They don't stack, and our inventory is a little messed up here. But let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. All right, chat. I think that we're ready to go. The weather station requires the 4 elements of the earth, of the atmosphere. We have those 4 elements downstairs. Let me pick up the creative elemental tanks for water, for earth, for fire, and for air. Can I put this down on the ground? I cannot put this down on the ground. Can I put this down on like one of these tanks? I cannot put this down on one of these tanks. Doesn't matter. We don't need it. Leave it on the ground. Back up here. We should have everything to make the weather station. We do. Sorry, the weather changer. And then the weather catalyst. Boom, we have what it takes. Chat, that is the sound we want to hear. And it says, use this on the weather changer to rid the world of the snow that falls. Chat, the cold frost of the world is here. And after many, 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 many hours, we're going to rise to the roof. We're going to head out onto the ice. We're going to place down the weather changer, and we're going to right click to hopefully, look at that. We have done it. We have rid the world of its frost. We have apparently added some very awkwardly shaped clouds. The skeletons are burning. Summer is rising. The sun is here. Chat, we've done it. And that is Frozenopolis, the mod pack made by Ben Law and Cryptic. Thank you to both those people for making the mod pack. It was an enjoyable experience. I really like the theming as well. I do like that. I have no idea how they did that at the end there. And it does appear that we are still freezing, which is unfortunate. I was really hoping that once we had cleared out the snowfall, that we would no longer freeze to death out in the wild. But I guess we'll retreat back down to the warm coziness of our humble abode here. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the series and you haven't done so already, you can go ahead and hit subscribe on YouTube to get notified as soon as the new series goes out. You can also leave a like down there as well if you did like the series. It helps YouTube know that you enjoyed it, and it helps push it to more people. Also, leave a comment as well. That helps with the engagement tremendously. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end through this monstrously long final episode. Thank you to everybody on Twitch who watched live as well and helped me get through this as well, because there was quite a bit of information I did not know on the way through here. But thank you for that as well. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be back very shortly with a brand new modded Minecraft experience. For now, though, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.